Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. From the deepest jungles to the outmost reaches of space and beyond the veils of death itself, the Bald and Bonkers boys are back for another episode. It's no secret that you won't know what will happen next, but Dakota Francis and Chris Moore promise that all bets are off. Viewer discretion and straitjackets advised. These two idiots live up to the name.
The echo.
Is it skipping around for you?
No, played absolutely perfect for me.
Oh.
Nah.
Oh, it's picking on me again.
Mysteries.
It's probably a good thing I didn't turn on the advertisements for the show beforehand after what happened last week.
Really? See, for my lives and Go Scotland, what I do is, what do you call it? I get in to YouTube, and as soon as the live starts, they have to watch adverts. You get made monetization that way.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not that. It's where we got to talking about certain subjects, and all of a sudden, advert.
I know.
You know, wait until we're done recording at the very least.
I know. I suppose we Go Scotland, it's different because we're not really getting into that conspiracy theory kind of thing. We're only talking about the dead people, really.
Well, speaking of which, you know, is the guest you were trying to get on for tomorrow going to show?
I'm hoping. He says he has. He says he's ready. He says hopefully he'll be on. So, Lewis, if you're watching this, I'll see you. Lewis, if you're out there.
Lewis, you're not a big guy, man. It's not going to take much for me to break you.
Come on, you know. But anyway, who's on the chat? Let's see who's on the chat. We've got Dots MC. Hello, Dots.
Yeah, Dots. We have Stephanie, and probably a few lurkers from the looks of the view counter right now.
That's very true. So, it's a big day for Bald and Bonkers today, isn't it?
Well, technically not till tomorrow, but fuck it. Let's have fun all this weekend. Yeah. Tomorrow,
2 years. It's
where the Bald and Bonkers show is officially 2 years old. How the hell we haven't called it quits yet, I will not know.
it's weird how time has flew in, and flew in indeed it has, you know. I'm listening and lurking and making dinner. Stephanie's listening and lurking and making dinner. All the pots bubbling away, you know, steam in the kitchen, you know, shouting at folk, you know. Dots, happy birthday, boys. Well, thank you very much, Dots. Very much, you know. Emerald Isles, Paranormal. Welcome, Jenny. Welcome to the show. If it's you, Jenny, I know it is, Joe. Jenny's not feeling well, guys. Everybody in our prayers. She's got a kind of sinus, headache, infection kind of thing.
Yeah,
so
it is.
Get better for you soon. You know,
lots of whiskey and lime.
Whiskey and lime, you can actually. Do you know? I was in a shop today, and all it was whiskies, malts, as far as the eye could see.
You make a good old hot toddy.
Hey, the new! I'll tell you that. As long as I don't start talking about clapping animals. We don't want.
You're the one that started that. You're the one that started that.
Now
we have a whole merch line.
This is actually a good point, right? Because I actually brought this up to somebody the other day. Then I says, if I said to you, "Do you want to clap my dog?" What would you say? Well, I would want to pet it. It is a Scottish tradition. It is a Scottish. It's not a Scottish tradition, like doing that kind of thing. But in Scotland, if you say you want to clap it, it means you're clapping your dog. Obviously, in the civilized world, you have strange names. Civilized. Well,
you're calling Scotland civilized?
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying out in the civilized world. You know, Scotland's going to be out. Well, it's not that backward because we've invented nearly everything. I mean, we invented the telephone, we invented the steam engine, we invented pet. I mean, but you could do in the big list of all the things we invented. You know. But I will say this, and I said it in my show last night, we need to try and pray for the people in Israel and also Palestine and stuff. That's I've no looked at the stuff today because it was just too much.
I know.
And I will say this.
Call for global jihad on Friday the 13th. Yeah.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of things that people are not telling you in that.
Oh, yeah.
Things are going to get really bad.
You know what else? I saw something that honestly surprised the fuck out of me. CIA is coming out and saying that the U.S. is funding both sides of the Israel-Hamas war.
I heard that.
The U.S. is funding both sides of it. And it's also CIA analysts that say World War III is not going to be fought with nukes. It's going to be fought through proxy wars. Guess what, motherfuckers?
See, that's the thing. See, they're saying they're going to move in, what do you call it? China's got to move in Hong Kong soon. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say this. What happened in Israel with those children was absolutely disgusting.
The entire situation is absolutely diabolical. And it's even getting to the point where it's speculated that some Hamas insurgents are taking the phones of their victims and calling the families.
Yes.
That's fucked up. That is fucked up.
There's the video out there with the Hamas, and they've actually looking after the children. They've just murdered their parents. And then there was the other one with the Hamas. They were getting the old woman in the chair to do like hand gestures. Did you know that woman was in the Holocaust?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think they shot her afterwards. That just shows you the people
how it goes.
Yeah, that's just the people. Who's that Facebook user? Hey, it's everyone from Nigel. Why does Facebook do that?
It's something about how Facebook works on their end. It doesn't link up with the streaming platforms. That's Nigel.
Hey Kelly, and your person in the room. Look, we just need to hope that it doesn't get any worse, but I think it is going to get really bad. What worries me, and I can talk about it in this show and stuff like that, is see all these like immigrants, like asylum seekers that's coming out of the border in America. And then folk will say, but they're Mexicans. Look, a lot of them aren't Mexicans. A lot of them are like Islamic. A lot of folk don't realise this. And it's the same happening in Ireland, Scotland, the UK, England, and Wales. It's happening. Did you see 2 days ago what happened in Sweden with the rioting? They were rioting. Right. Yeah, and they were burning stuff, and there's actually parts of Sweden that people can't go into because it's been took over by Islamic groups.
Figures.
Yeah. And it's coming here. It's going to come here. I think I can tell you something right now. If Iran gets involved, which is more than likely it's going to happen.
Iran is already involved.
But what I mean is in a full scale, them shooting at us and we shooting at them. Look at the military might that's been sent to the region. 2 aircraft carriers,
Chris,
ships, submarines. They don't send it. And
Iran owns Hamas.
Yeah,
it's already involved. They purposely pushed that attack in order to fuck up the region even more.
Who's the other group? Who's the other group that's there too that's fighting alongside Hamas? Because they're coming out of Syria. Last night, Israel bombed 2 Syrian air bases. And look, I'm going to say this to now. As soon as Syria and all the rest get involved, there's going to be hell to pay.
That's the whole.
No hell to pay to them. Hell to pay to us, the consumer. Because all they need is shut off the Strait of Hormuz where the oil comes through, start sinking a few tankers here and there. Get what I mean? Hell is going to pay. I think this is all by design. I think it's going to happen.
No. Every single aspect of this, from Israel's response to the United States funding both sides of the army, Maria, we are helping. We are the ones that started this.
Of course we are.
We are funding both sides of this because they want more chaos. Some circles are even starting to say that this whole situation with Israel and Hamas was supposed to help delay disclosure that was supposed to take place at the end of this year.
It's as if somebody wants a third world war. It's as if somebody wants to bring in a third world war. I was talking to somebody today, well, no, it was actually last night, that's in the military. I can't give you his name, but he's an American soldier and stuff like that. And he was telling me that they're moving equipment there that only move when there's going to be a war. Sometimes they send like maybe a frigate and an aircraft carrier and stuff just to scare folk, right? To make them think, oh no, the Americans are coming and stuff like that. But they're actually moving the A-10 Warthog, fleets of them, and other stuff to the region. That's a very bad sign that America is going to help Israel and take out Iran. I'm telling you, this is going to blow up and it's going to be unbelievably bad.
It's going to.
Yeah.
And then here's at the end of the day, this is still a fucked up situation, regardless of what's going to be going on. Yes, the U.S. is sticking its nose in places where it shouldn't be, and it does not have. We do not have that top dog fear in the eyes of the rest of the world anymore. We don't.
Lawrence in the chat, aren't we sent the aircraft carriers heading that way? There was one aircraft carrier, 4 frigates, and a submarine heading there, and then they decided to send 2 nuclear-powered aircraft carriers and more ships. And they say it's all going to go down on Monday or Tuesday.
We'll see.
It's like what's happening in Gaza Strip now is absolutely diabolical, right? What's absolutely they're bombing civilians and stuff like that. But it's not just that. Hamas is bombing and killing the Israelis. But here's an interesting fact. Did you know that Hamas killed its own people the other day?
Of course it does.
There was actually a part in the town, I actually watched this, it was really interesting. It was people flew it. They've got everywhere in Israel, they've got bunkers, obviously because of the situation over there. And there was a bunker that held about 100 people, and there was like a mixture of like Israelis and a mixture of normal people, you know, ran in there. Both Muslim and Jews went into that bunker. They were all huddled together. There was a Hamas taking a strip of grenades, pulled all the pins out and threw it in and shut the door. Killed them all.
Because the point isn't, there's several groups that are trying to say, oh, this is instigating Islam, Christianity, this is, East versus West. No, they're just looking for blood. That's all this is. Do you know jihad never actually meant war?
What does it actually mean?
If you actually look at the Quran, it means a spiritual fight.
Yeah. I'm going to say this, right? We need to hope both sides. I wish both sides could just sit at the table and say, enough is enough here. We need to try and talk this, but it's not going to, because I'll tell you something, the Israelis are going to go for blood. They are pissed for what's happened to their people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And obviously, Muslims, they're going to be the same, because they're going to be like, look what's happened to our people, and they're just going to, it's just going to escalate until somebody presses that button. And it's going to happen.
And, this has honestly become a reflection of what's going on in a lot of circles right now. Everyone wants to be seen as the top. That's not what the situation is supposed to be. We're supposed to be sitting down and actually trying to help each other to where we're not constantly dying over stupid ideologies and dogma. But when you realize and actually dig into what needs to be taken out, it is a spiritual fight. But it's meant for, the thing is, it's meant for along the lines of, like the id versus the ego, right? That's what jihad is. The extremists completely butchered it. None of them probably actually read the damn Quran.
No, I know. Look,
seriously,
I've got friends that are Muslims, right? I talk to them all the time. I actually play the Xbox sometimes with them, right? And they're the nicest people you could possibly imagine. I actually had the conversation about this the other day with them. And they're like, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. But what can we do? And it's true. It's not just wars in other countries. You look at all the UFO groups out there with the drama, and the paranormal groups out there with the drama, because I want to be in top, and I want to be on TV, and I want to be this, and I want to be that, and I'm an amazing person. That's all it is. We're meant to be here to try and prove something. It's like the UFO field. We're here to prove that aliens exist, that there is life beyond the stars, and there's life after death. But there's people out there that really care about money and fame, which I think is bad.
And unfortunately, there's just like, honestly, you want to know the basis of these misinformation groups, the basis for Biden funding several social media influencers in order to persuade his campaign, in order to purposely stock shit up online. And yeah, you can prove this. A lot of so-called influencers are actually being paid by management companies that are being paid off by the DNC.
Yeah.
And these are ones that are saying that there's bomb threats being put against them. They're putting up people's private information that dare to speak up against them. And it's fucked up. The whole thing is orchestrated because they realize people just want to be a part of drama because they think that's the part. If somehow fulfills this, they need to step up and do something better because we think we can actually take on that type of stuff. But if you actually sit your asses down, talk it out, realize who the bad guys are, you're going to realize we need to shut the fuck up, get our heads out of our asses, and actually start working together, because that's going to be the one thing every single corrupt asshole on this planet is. No matter what side of this you stand for. If you don't want to get part of disclosure BS, fine. If you don't want to get part of that BS, part of that drama, fine. Those people are going to spin circles constantly.
I'm going to say this.
Fucking stop.
It does need to stop. I turn on Facebook now. I only use Facebook for my Go Squad Scotland network and Bald and Bonkers network. In there and I have a wee look now and again, and I add people to the group and stuff. I was in there the other day there, and there was somebody complaining the paranormal side. Oh, neighbour did this, neighbour did that. We're all falling out, and I thought, oh, fuck this. And I just turned it off. And I thought, honestly, why? Why?
There's this one guy. He was posting pictures. And apparently, he was spend time with family. Younger brother just got married. Fine. Celebratory thing. Show off a few pictures. Lovely. But then it starts going into, it was a nice getaway from the disclosure BS. Clearly not if you're feeling the need to broadcast it.
Yeah. I will say this in the disclosure side. There is a lot of drama. I'm going to say that now. But I mean, there's authors that are on Facebook that I'm not going to name them and stuff like that have been going non-stop, been complaining about other UFO people. You kind of know what I'm talking about. And I'm like, it's all the time they're trying to prove that this person's wrong. But never once has that person posted anything about them. Not once. And it just shows you. It just shows you what it is because they're in the limelight. The person that they're talking about is on TV, they're on Discovery Plus, they're on Discovery, they're on the History Channel. They're not this kind of stuff, talking about ancient aliens and stuff like that. And that person there is no getting on it, is no getting what they're getting, so they've decided to basically take the piss out of them.
Yeah.
Because they're jealous. Look, we're needing to stop all of this, and it's needing to work together. We really are needing to work together. It's getting ridiculous now.
It is.
It really is. I mean, there's folk out there that I actually watched and knew I don't watch them because I just don't know. I can't watch them anymore. And there's folk out there that I really admire their channels. Elena, I admire her channel. She's done an amazing job. You'll get to see her next week, won't you? At your thing you're going to. But then there's other channels out there that are like, I mean, they're like, I just think more people like Elena need to be celebrated more. I think, I mean, when there's other people out there that are just dicks, basically.
Oh, yeah. You're not wrong, man. You're not wrong. And I see that your brothers kind of commented that we're not going for a comedy approach. Yeah, that was part of the plan tonight, but let's face it, too much shit's going down, and it's the whole point behind Bald and Bonkers. It's simply bringing everybody to the playing field, bringing everybody level, no matter how crazy or how much this shit makes you want to pull your hair out.
Mm-hmm. And well, we've tried pulling our hair out, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened. That's why my eyebrows are so hard to see.
I think I will say this: in the alien community, need to stop attacking other UFOologists and stuff like that. You need to work together. And so what if the other guy's on the telly or the other woman's on the telly and they're making it big time. Folk don't realise you don't make that much money off of these shows and stuff like that. You don't.
No, you don't.
I've got friends in the paranormal world that go on these shows and stuff like Discovery Plus and all that. And they don't make money out of that. I'll tell you where they make their money. They make their money out of making books or going to events and selling T-shirts and stuff. That's how they make their money.
Selling T-shirts, doing podcasts, things like that. You want to know the highest paycheck I've ever gotten from one of those gigs? Granted, I'm not on the big, radar quite yet. You know what the biggest, check I've gotten from one of these gigs? $100.
$100?
$100.
Wow.
Yeah.
See what I mean? This is what people think. If people think, oh, I'm going to be a TV star one day. I'm going to be a top ghost hunter one day. I'm going to be a top UFOologist one day. I'm going to have my own TV show and stuff like that. It doesn't make you rich. Selling your merchandise, or can I pronounce that? So it gives you money. Going to events and selling signed T-shirts and books and stuff like that makes you money.
Why do you think so many A-list celebrities have their own companies?
Aye.
That's exactly why. Because the movie industry is the best form of advertisement.
Aye. A lot of folk don't realise there's a lot of actors, they don't really make money out of the movies. They make money because of the advertisement.
I mean, this is why we just had another major writer's strike, was because AI was making it so the corporate bigwigs that want to keep the millions lined up to cover their billions, we're realizing there's other ways to screw people out on the bottom.
Yeah.
And it happens in every single industry.
What's that, Lawrence? Don't cover your travel.
Didn't cover your travel. Yeah, no, I'm serious. I mean, like $40 of that 100 went to gas alone.
Right, and there's people out there that say, oh, but your channel's monetized now. You'll be making millions a week. Like, I'll tell you exactly how much you make in monetization. You ready for this? For every 1,000 views you get, ready? £2.90.
Bald and Bonkers, since we got our monetization back with the memberships and everything, all the fancy lights turned on, maybe $11.
Yeah.
Last
it's the
time
same
I
with
looked.
Ghost Squad Scotland. Yeah, it's the same with Ghost Squad Scotland. That's why, guys, if you would like to become a member, it's only 99 cents. 99 cents a month, and you become a member for Bald and Bonkers. It lets you get extras. What is it? You get extras. You get extra wee extras and stuff like that.
You get behind-the-scenes info about stuff. You get funny emojis to put in the chat, like Chris and I's heads. You can give us our own head.
There you go. No,
because we're clearly not that flexible.
Oh, there you go. It was clapping animals last week for me, and now you're giving head.
Oh wait, I sold mine. Wait.
Look, people don't realise there's folk out there that think, oh, you're going to make millions on YouTube and that, and they're going to be the next Ghost Adventures. Look, that's YouTube for that is over. You're not going to make it on YouTube for that.
Mm-mm.
You're going to make it through PayPal. Aye, there's got to somebody donates like $100,000 or something like that. Aye, that you're going to make
PayPal
money there.
puts your account on freeze, and we also have a Patreon membership because we don't trust YouTube to keep their word on shit. I mean, I constantly keep getting alerts saying that I need to turn on two-step verification.
Oh, I know.
Because I'm going to monetize.
You have to do it. I've done it.
I did it. I've done it with every email that is tied to the company account.
I'll tell you,
it still won't go away.
Yes, I know. See, we Ghost Squad Scotland, it did it for about 5 months, and then it stopped.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Thanks for the warning.
It does it, so it'll be fine. I'll eventually stop. Look.
It's just annoying, I know.
Aye, I will say this. Try and support smaller channels out there. But you honestly, if you're getting into this game thinking, I'm going to start a YouTube channel and I'm going to be a millionaire, it's not going to happen to you. Oh, but what about the channels out there that get 10 million subscribers? Aye, 10 million. You have an idea how long it would take to get 10 million subscribers? See, have you seen what YouTube's doing there? have you seen in the ad section what YouTube's doing? You've probably noticed that you can actually give them money and they'll put your content out for you.
I know. It's called promotion.
They actually offered me a package to say if you pay $500 a day, we'll put you out there. $500 a day.
I know.
See, there'll be people paying that. There'll be people paying that.
I know.
That's why they're so successful. Because the money they're getting back for their hundreds of thousands of views, they'll be putting it back into the advertising. They'll be just growing and growing and growing.
I know. That's what you're technically supposed to do.
Yeah.
And it's understandable. There comes a point where natural growth only takes you so far. You got to put in a little bit of advertising. It just fucking happens. Yeah. Hell, Chris, for $40, I can slap Bald and Bonkers on a screen in Times Square again.
I know.
Which honestly looks, it's a lot better. It's a lot better bragging rights than just advertising on YouTube, in my opinion.
Look, there's people out there that do it. Look, there's people out there that do YouTube. I ken somebody out there they were sitting at 2 subscribers last week. Well, last month they were sitting at 2 subscribers. I was like, they're putting their videos in, they're getting like 1 view per video, right? And then I went back to their channel and they had 27,000 subscribers. I was like, holy shit. And they still had 1 view.
Yeah, that's a big giveaway.
But, like, you're not going to make the money doing this. Obviously, Bald and Bonkers we're going out everywhere. It's not just YouTube, it's Amazon Prime and stuff like that. But we don't make any money. So this folk think if you start doing this, you become a millionaire and all that kind of stuff. There's people out there that are really amazing ghost hunters, and they've got their. Let's talk about Dave Schrader. He's got an amazing podcast, right? The 60-minute podcast that he does at like 3 o'clock in the morning and stuff like that. And he does those ghost shows and stuff like that. But he's not making much money out of that. He has to go to events. He does events where he's got to like cuddle folk and get this photo taken for like $30 or something every time. That's how he makes his money. It's this thrifty witchy. It's Drew, my paranormal and broomsticks channel is still doing show. It's weird that I don't know why that is. It's a mystery of the universe. I don't know why that is.
YouTube being YouTube.
Exactly. You know, I've made Dakota jealous tonight. I'm drinking Iron Brew.
Oh, fuck off! Fuck off with your bubblegum soda.
You know. So what other news is happening? Of course, Dakota's going away to a big event next week. He'll be jiving away to the disco, you know. Do they still have discos now, or is that too old?
Well, considering the group that's putting it together, it's about the right age.
Oh, that's true, you know. But like, it's coming in the summers and stuff like that. Oh, I remember the days when I was at Area 51.
I remember when Area 51 was Area 5. Why did I give it
was that like an Indian accent? Oh my god!
I was like, why? Oh, hey, thanks for the heart, random. I think that's Hindu.
Yeah, I'll get a heart.
Someone sent me a heart on TikTok.
Oh, how do you get hearts?
They send. Well, first off, we're not acting like fake AI.
No, I will not doing that stupid thing. Corn. Nice day.
I mean the ones that actually program legitimate AI to do that stuff. Okay, that's cool. Someone actually figured out how to do like real life animatronics to link it up to that. Okay, from a tech nerd's perspective, the batteries are running low. From a tech guy's perspective, that's actually kind of cool when they manage to link stuff up like that. But God.
Look, I'm going to say this. TikTok is full. What is it with the AMPC TikTok things? Corn. Nice day. Corn.
I don't.
Nice day. Rose. And you're just sitting there thinking, Jesus Christ, the human race has now became idiots.
Lawrence, you bang girders and spit rivets when drinking Iron Brew.
I do buy iron girders. There you go.
Yeah, sure. It's like it's kind of funny.
I'll tell you,
the guy, our tour guide, while we were in Scotland, he pointed out something that Iron Brew. It's supposed to, it's marketed as like this big manly drink, all that, and it tastes like fucking bubble gum.
No, it doesn't. I think it tastes.
Yeah, it does.
It doesn't. It's made of girders. It's made for the steel industry. You know. Please donate to the channel, ladies and gentlemen, through what you call it, TikTok. Send us a galaxy or something. I've always wanted to see a galaxy on TikTok.
We got TikTok, we got Twitch, we got YouTube.
You know,
I think some of our, I don't know. We're so off
become a member for YouTube. Become a member on YouTube, and it's only 99 cents.
All right, come on. I need to change the batteries. Hold on. We'll watch somebody. Yeah. Somebody will actually think I'm a fucking android doing that shit.
Oh, it'll come out tomorrow. It'll be in the UFO community. But Dakota is an android for the alien planet Zorbo. It'll blow everybody. Everybody will complain about you and stuff like that. I'm telling you, the amount of idiots that's out there. Look at the ads from the 80s. Hilarious. I like the ads. You'll not remember it, Dakota, but folk in the chat remember. It used to be the advert for Iron Brew with the guy taking out his false teeth and slurped it, and then he says, "Here, do you want your can back?" And the wee lassie went, "No, just keep it." It's lovely.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You humans.
But ladies and gentlemen, please consider becoming a member, or even if you want to donate. What's that? We pound sign down the bottom. Super stickers. Look at that. The things that you can put up. You seen all the mad, crazy things that you can put up.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck hell. I might do one a wee while.
I wonder. Being that it is, the 2-year anniversary and all that.
Yes.
I mean, Chris, don't you have a little something that you're putting together?
Me? Oh,
you want to do yourself a little plug while we're here?
That's right. I forgot all about it. It's a shame we couldn't play them the trailer to show them the trailer for it.
Are you sure about that?
Can you do that? Can you play that? Can you do that?
You want to?
Play that? Aye, play it. Right, guys. Go for it.
Well, here's a little preview. Make sure I get it to the right. No, let me know what y'all think of this.
That was brilliant. Just in time for the Halloween surprise,
Yes,
very well done.
Yes.
I'll tell you what it is, ladies and gentlemen. No many of you can, but next day, I think it's the 23rd, we have a very special guest coming on to a new show in Ghost Squad Scotland and Bald and Bonkers called Paranormal Uncut. And it is definitely an 18 rated show because we will be going into dark histories. Now, my co-host for the show will be Jenny, none other than where are you? Where is Jenny? Paranormal. Where are you?
Jenny, you live?
Are you there, Jenny? You're there somewhere,
Jenny, where you at, Jenny?
Well, Emerald Isles Paranormal. So remember, give her a subscribe, guys. She will be my co-host. We have none other than Neil Story coming on to be our first guest to talk about the gruesome murders. And I'm going to say this right now. This show is dark because it's not just ghost stuff we're talking about. We will be talking about aliens in this show. With Neil Story, it'll be Jack the Ripper, how gruesome it was, and we'll get right into it, and it will be gruesome. So I'm sorry to say that as an 18 show, it will be marked as an 18 show, right? There might be some swearing in it there, but it's an 18 show. but we'll also be getting lots. There's a couple of other alien people that I might be getting on. We might be interviewing Dakota on it too, but it'll be every it'll be every 2 to 3 weeks when we play it on a Monday night.
Is that it?
There you go. Yeah, every 2 weeks or something like that. Yeah.
Uh,
It was very good. I must admit, you've done a very good trailer. What did you think, guys, of that?
looks like we got some thumbs up in the chat. That's very good. Yeah.
There we go. It'll be good with Neil Story. I'm actually trying to get Neil Story back at Christmas with another guest. An interesting guest, but I can't talk about that now. So I can't talk about that now because I've not messaged them yet. And I don't want to. I want to get the two of them on together because I think the two of them together would be absolutely awesome. So
knowing you, I think I might know.
I've no asked him yet. But
I think I know who you might try to gun for. Knowing you.
I know.
I think I've known you enough where I could probably guess.
Yeah. Right, we'll keep it at that.
But he usually shuts himself. If it's who I think it is, he usually shuts himself down at Christmas time. So spend time with family.
Oh, I'm not talking about Neil. I'm not talking about Barry Fitzgerald.
No,
I'm talking.
I wasn't thinking Barry.
I'm thinking a guy we actually talked about a wee while ago. I've not asked him yet, but I was talking to him the other day, and I thought, Ken, if I could get the two of them on, because the two of them are best pals, but we'll have to wait and see what happens.
See, there you told me.
So, there you go.
There you confirmed it.
Neil is an amazing author. I see the books that he's written, Count Dracula and Bram Stoker, and absolutely fantastic. And as I say, it's adult rated. Which is a show is adult rated anyway, you know what I mean? So it's, and Jenny's an amazing co-host too, because she knows her history about Ireland and stuff too. So I think we'll be getting into the darkness, the real
an adults only show. I didn't think Jenny was that type of girl.
But as long as we don't bring clapping animals into it, that's all I'm going to say.
Hey, she got it right into that with you, man.
Remember, everybody, Jenny's nearly at 900 subscribers. Go and give her a subscribe, guys. Please go and give her a subscribe, and because she's nearly at 900 subscribers. Jenny's actually got a right bad infection in her sinuses and stuff now, so get better soon. So she'll get better. She's just sleeping. She's watching the show now. Let's everybody wave.
Oh, Jenny.
She'll be laughing at this, but look.
Say, hey, in my defense, I have a sister named Jenny, so that's why I quickly rolls off to make fun of her.
You've got loads of sisters.
I know I do.
How many have you got?
That I know of?
All right,
dude, you gotta remember though. One thing I know for certain when it comes to me and my siblings is that I'm the oldest. That's it.
Wow.
I have 11 sisters and 6 brothers.
11? Holy shit. You went to your beds early in the night days, didn't you?
No, let's just say, I've said it before and I'll say it again. 95 was apparently a very good year for my father because 96, he had kids popping out of multiple women.
I'm going to say that now. There's Dots saying that. Have you seen Jenny's new puppy?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody, the wee chocolate button nose. Oh, it's a wee cute puppy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Speaking of new shows.
New shows? Have you got a new show too?
I think I might be putting a little something together. Kind of a rehash of something I've played with on and off over the years. Shut up, Chris. Mm-hmm. Don't be thinking anything dirty, motherfucker.
I was thinking something.
Shut up, Chris. I don't have anything fancy.
Tell us.
Let me show you. What do you think of that?
Well, that's very cool. The UFO.
So
that's really cool. That, by the way, you just remembered me something that I'm going to ask you shortly. Right. I was talking to Jenny. Jenny doesn't think it's real. And a lot of other folk I've spoke to doesn't think it's real. What's your opinion on that Bigfoot sighting with the train?
Oh, okay. Right. Now, so for those of you who don't know, within this last week, there was a video caught from a train in Colorado where it looks like a big ape-looking thing is walking by, squats down once he realizes he's being spotted, and people believe it's Bigfoot. Now, there's a pretty good distance from where the guy's filming and where this thing shows up to where the color of the thing, let's go with that for now, does kind of blend into the environment. It does look potentially real, but you also have to consider there's a lot of tourism surrounding Bigfoot in that area.
Yeah.
And with that particular train ride, there's a lot of people who will dress up as Bigfoot and come up to the train.
I watched that on the big TV, right, and I noticed something. I don't know if anybody else has noticed something. The top half looks really real, right? The top half looks really, really real. But Kim, I noticed, and I don't know if anybody ever noticed that. See when the person or whatever it is goes to like try and blend in with the scene to hide, he puts his hands down to look where his trousers is, where it looks like trousers because they're awfully baggy. Did you see that bit?
Yeah,
you can see it around his legs. And do you know what that remembered me? It remembered me like waterproofs. Now some people have said it's like a ghillie suit. It's not a ghillie suit, but what I will say is it's like the top half is definitely real looking, but the bottom half is like a weird shaded, the same colour, and the trousers are very baggy. And I noticed when they turn, you can see whatever it is holding the trousers.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see them kind of move in the wind a wee bit. If that was Bigfoot doesn't wear trousers. Mike, if he was here, Mike would be able to tell us, but, you know.
No, they usually prefer to freeball it.
Yeah.
Go commando.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't surprise me, because they say chimps have entered their version of the Stone Age, so.
And they started playing with tools and stuff like that.
So if Bigfoot figured out how to make itself its own clothes, well, yeah, that Bigfoot drove a pickup truck home.
Look,
it kind of needs to in order to fit.
I mean, look, I think it's fake. To be purely honest with you, I think it's been airbrushed a wee bit. There's just the top half looks really real, but the bottom half looks just totally wrong.
It's very well done. If it's a fake, it's very well done.
There's something strange about it. I will say that.
Speaking of videos, that actually just reminded me of something.
Mm-hmm.
I think something's come to my attention, and I feel that it probably needs to be addressed. We talk about UFOs and conspiracy stuff. The sudden insurgence of UFO clips that have been popping up ever since the U.S. pretty much said, yeah, we've been trying to look into these things. Apparently, there are some 3D design classes for like movie special effects, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who are creating homework assignments for their students to create realistic looking UFO videos. And for extra credit, they post the shit online just to see how well the public reacts.
Yeah.
Did something just walk past my fucking door?
There's been a few
times. I'm supposed to be alone right now.
I was wondering about that because I seen somebody walk up and doing 4 or 5 times past the gap.
It's like, I have a gap there so my cats don't freak out.
I was going to say to you about that because I seen somebody walk past it 4 or 5 times. I just thought your mum was there or something like that.
No, I'm home alone right now.
Well, I don't think you're alone to be per se that. I think you've got maybe guests. Is it you, Mike? Are you came across the veil?
All right, that's it. I'm busting out my security camera and rigging up the place.
You'll be going to sleep tonight and you'll feel a presence climb into bed next to you.
I would love to fucking catch when No,
I thought for a
get
second there, I thought
visitation
you were going to
back
say,
there.
I would love for Mike to climb into bed next to me.
Don't
I
joke about that shit, man.
You know, he's the kind of, honestly, that's what's coming up to you guys on Halloween night. I'm doing a special in memory of Mike the Naked Bigfoot. So please come to
And
that.
he was one of our most frequent guests, so
Yeah.
it's only right. It's only right.
Yeah.
It's ironic that he popped up on 13 episodes exactly.
Do you know what? I don't know. You sure you haven't got like a curtain open in your hallway or anything like that? Because I just, for a second there, I thought I seen somebody walking down.
No, that's a small hallway that goes directly across from my room is the bathroom.
See if you look at it, guys.
Is here right now.
I don't know if everybody in the chat can look at it for me, but the light actually changes. It goes from bright to it dulls away down, like somebody's walking up and down really quickly.
Yeah. Well, they're back. Figures a week before G6, I have shit start stirring up. It's always with Elena.
Oh, don't blame Elena. Elena's amazing. You know what I mean?
Hey, even Elena admits that for some reason, whenever she and I get to talking, Pandora's box seems open.
Mm-hmm. Ken, I don't know what it is, guys, but I don't know if anybody in the chat can see that, but it's like the gap from the door gets bright and then it dulls away down bright. So somebody's just walking past it, turning around, coming back again.
I know. I never shut the door fully because my cats will start freaking out. Plus, my polydactyl, she hasn't quite figured out how to work the doors yet with her extra toes. She goes to open it, but her extra toes will start to catch it and slam it back in her face.
Is there anyone there? Is there anyone there? Come through the veil.
We had to start turning on the heater at night, so unfortunately my little bug in the bed I probably shouldn't put it like that, but putting a mic weird. Next to me when I'm asleep.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
See how you've got the white bat, and then you've got the bit of wood that runs down, then you've got the door. It's like there's a shimmery blackness every now and again.
Oh.
If there's anyone there, walk in front of the door one more time.
Just the ice maker.
Watched that a few times.
You never know what happens with Bald and Bonkers.
Yep.
Yeah.
You'll never know. We'll never hear from Dakota again.
You never know what's going to happen on Bald and Bonkers. We like comedy. We like serious. We bring it all in.
Dots will be sitting in his dark living room now with his laptop open and his cup of tea in the other. And something will be crawling up behind you, Dots. Right behind you.
Careful,
you know
Dots.
You want to look.
You want to know something?
It was like
you got to be careful, ladies and gentlemen, because there's been people who have actually seen things come out of the electronics they've been watching me on.
Lawrence, your window is closed. Yes, his window is closed.
Yes, my window's closed. Heater's not going right now, so it's not blowing. You can see here. See, that's not it. Light source is coming from behind the door.
See,
the cats are fucking around.
See it walking past the door. It's as if it's walking past the door. That's weird, that. If you've come from the other side, tell us the message. Is there a message?
Fuck, what was the name on that mail? We're still getting mail at this house from the person who lived here before, considering she's been dead for over a year.
Well, that's handy. Is there any, like, you have won the world lottery, big check in it and all that kind of stuff? She wouldn't mind you taking that.
No, remember Ann Bender when she said she saw the woman with the oxygen tank?
That's right.
I found out just afterwards that she was on the money. She had a lot of breathing issues, and they actually used to have a ramp at the front of the house to help her getting into an ambulance.
You'd think
In
in the
fact,
spirit world, using like an oxygen tank, it'd be like never ending oxygen, wouldn't it?
You know, that's always something I've wondered. When you think about it, I know I've said this before on the show, but just kind of lift spirits here. Why is it that ghosts have clothes?
That's a good point.
I mean, why is it that we have clothes when we're dead? It's not part of our corporeal form.
See, I said this to Lisa Fry. I says, right, say for instance, you die, you're in the afterlife, and you're standing there completely naked in front of everybody. Obviously, you're going to feel a bit kind of angry. But she says, no, they give you sandals and a robe.
I've seen robes.
No, you get a robe and sandals.
Crossing over, but no, when you like physically die in your spirit, why do you still have clothes? That's something I've always been curious about. Is it something about how we personally visualize ourselves before we die, and that creates the image?
Well, think of it in this sense. Think of the people that have died dressed as stupid things.
Trust me, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's something I've always wondered, and it's not like we could safely test it, It's like have someone dress up as a chicken, tell them to go run and go pow. And it's like all of a sudden you got a chicken running around.
Can you imagine that? A giant chicken ghost in KFC. Say there was a man in a chicken's outfit ran over in front of the KFC and he haunts the KFC dressed as a giant chicken.
And here's another one. Why is it that spiritual manifestations and photos often look like fucking Muppets?
I've noticed that.
You saw that after the last time we had Iron City on. No one, y'all didn't see it until I said something. It literally looked like the two grouchy old guys.
Another thing, right? And I'm going to say this. Yes, there's a lot. The LSS camera, right? I'm going to say this now. The dearer ones are a bit better. See these stupid apps and all that you get there, shit. But I've always wondered, like when they're doing like a ghost investigation, like a room, right? And there'll be some crawling up the walls, which is quite creepy, right? Because you see them crawling. But some of them will be like that size, and then some of them will be like ginormous. Is it like hobbits or something like that? What's that all about? Because some of them will be like maybe that size next to one ginormous one.
I've personally
seen... shrink?
Maybe there's some side effect of ghost rot, but I've personally seen... I know somebody who was actually... I know there's a video of it from... the Shoshone ice caves that are not too far from me. Frozen over caves, been around since the Ice Age. Someone actually got video of what looks like a dude crawling up the wall like a lizard. I've physically seen these things myself. And unfortunately, those were cases that got real nasty. But
I'm going to say this, right? See the LSS cameras, you need to watch what ones you use, because some of them pick up your reflection.
Yeah.
Or do you know what else they'll pick up? Your shadow. So if you're standing, there's a light hitting you, and your shadow's on the wall, and you point the camera at the wall, it'll light up as a person.
What do you expect for something that's based around a piece of abandoned Xbox equipment?
I know. I've got you in there. I've got one with the Xbox.
It's based off of the old Xbox Connects that Microsoft does not use no more.
I will say this. The weirdest one I've ever seen was the one with the Tesla car in the graveyard.
I know. I'm very curious about that, where they're driving through a graveyard and it's picking up that people are around it.
Yeah. It's as if they're all standing there saying, oh, look at that futuristic looking car. That's weird.
I know.
That is weird.
That's probably one of the few reasons I still want to get a Tesla.
I want the Cybertruck. You seen the Cybertruck?
Yeah.
No.
I would love
but you only need about, what is it, $150,000 or something?
Yeah, Elon, can you adopt me?
Elon, I was liking all your tweets. Can you, what'd you call it? Can you give Dakota a Cybertruck? I'll have one too, please.
Cybertruck doesn't last long around here.
Oh, I see he's on Twitter the new going on about the Israel thing. But you would think all these powerful people around the world, all these trillionaires and billionaires, could do something about this. Can't I mean?
I noticed on Twitter there's a lot of people freaking out that the Germans are trying to support the Jews right now when it comes to the Israel situation.
Oh, I know. I watched a film the other night, and it was Escape Fay. It was a extermination camp in 1940. The Jews, and a lot of them. It was actually a true story. 300 escaped.
No, there's actually video going around from Germany where they're flying the Israeli flag over a major Capitol building and people are climbing it to take it down.
Oh my God. I'm going to say this. What happened to those children was absolutely terrible. I advise that you do not go and look up the images. I wonder what that was. There was your cat.
Yeah.
I think it was Mike the Naked Bigfoot's son. He actually posted them on Twitter because he was not happy, and they were. It's absolutely disgraceful, and I never thought humans could do that to other humans, but it just shows you. I mean, it's like the time it's repeating itself. The Nazis did to the Jews in the 1940s. But it's not just the Jews, though. Everybody thinks that the Jews were the
Nazis
only ones.
Went after everybody. What are you talking about?
After everybody that wasn't pure blood. They went after people with different ways. Yeah. They went after the gypsies. They went after people that were in the whale. They went after.
Ironically, a lot of the same people that are trying to justify Hamas's attack and support Nazis are the ones that would have been hunted down.
Do you know what I seen yesterday? And I was like, oh my God. It was actually somebody stitched it on TikTok. I can't remember who the guy was. He was an American guy, and he's like, "Do you guys do like?" And it was, what do you call them with a multicolored flag? What they called?
The pride flags.
The pride flags. They were all stunning, all the transvestites and stuff like that, saying, "We support Hamas." They support Hamas.
I know, and everybody who's trying to step up and say, like, do you realize what they do to you?
Yeah, they would. You wouldn't last 30 seconds. You know, what's that? Is that a cat? Is that... He's like,
dropped it,
my pussy.
My cats still have their claws, man.
You went all bloody.
I know. That was. It's like it was trying to censor it.
There's Lawrence. I see Toyota are going the way of Tesla in the way that they build their car. However, Toyota are ahead of the dry state. Aye. You've no idea the amount of fires that's been with the electric cars lately in the UK. The whole airport car park burnt down because an electric car went on fire.
You little...
That's right. What's its name? Bite him. Dig your claws in.
This cat is such a fucking attention whore.
Cats are cats, you know. I'm going to say this. I think electric cars are the stupidest idea ever. See if they had like maybe a futuristic way, like maybe the batteries maybe go like 600 miles to a charge. I think it'd be the greatest thing ever. But see in Scotland, oh my God, you've no minute. You know how many I've seen of them broken down at the side of the road? They've ran out of charge.
Because the ocean air doesn't help them, or the cold.
Look, do you know, I actually know somebody that owns a breakdown service, and he was telling us, he says electric cars are nightmarish. See if you get one that's run out of batteries, you can't tow it onto the car because
you can't even set the damn thing in the park.
Yeah.
No, you can't even set the damn thing in the park if the battery goes on you. Yeah. Or to open the damn thing to charge it, try to charge it.
Yeah.
It's like, the fuck?
Yeah, the technologies, I think we're into more advanced, like hydrogen-powered cells and stuff like that more. I could, like, if they maybe designed a battery that gets like 700 miles to a charge. I know somebody's got one in my village. I was talking to the guy and he's like, oh, that's the next Tesla and stuff like that. He says, oh, it's brilliant. He says, you can't drive it in the winter though. I'm like, what do you mean? He says, well, I could fully charge it and I get into the car, then I've got to warm the batteries up so I lose some miles. By the time I've warmed the car up, put all the lights on, I've only got a range of 60 miles for full charge in the winter. It's okay if you live somewhere like Florida. Or
not even then.
We don't.
Not even then.
I will say this: have you seen the amount
of ocean?
Have you seen the amount of stupid videos of people trying to put gas in them? But I've got them as hire cars.
Or the people who are trying to put the environmentally friendly gas into cars. The ones with the green pump.
Are you talking about? My car uses unleaded. My car's an unleaded car. Uses normal gasoline. They've actually changed it for E5 here to E10. So, you know. So what you doing the rest of the night, Dakota? What strange and unusual things except being getting clawed to death by a cat?
I have 4 cats, dude.
Oh my god, they'll be climbing over you at night, clawing at you. Big scratches.
They usually do. But now I'm going to be working on something I plan on revealing for tomorrow. Hopefully that'll help with some of the streaming platform issues that we and several other creators we know will have faced.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to that, to see what that is. That's very interesting.
We'll see how that goes, and people can contribute and get exclusive merch that aren't found anywhere else.
And if we get to a certain amount of money, if somebody donates $10 million, Dakota will clap a gator in Florida.
Hell the fuck I won't, because those things are probably high on meth.
That's a movie that I've not watched yet. It's called Cocaine Bear or something. It's like a bear or something. It finds
that was a true story, right?
You're taking the piss, really?
That was based on an actual incident where a bear
overdosed
on cocaine that fell out of a drug plane. That was a legitimate incident. The bear's dead.
Did it go mad? Oh.
No, the bear died.
Well,
it didn't kill people. It had a heart attack. They actually have a statue of it where it happened.
The Perry soul.
The bear died. He didn't make it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're walking through the woods and you find a big, massive stash of cocaine, I advise that you phone the forestry ranger or the police before a bear eats it.
And just remember, it is advised that if you decide to go Bigfoot hunting, the best way to gauge the environment on whether or not it's a possible area is if there's a bear population.
That's some of it.
Bears can walk on 2 feet.
What is bear spray? What's in it?
High-powered peppers.
Is that what that is?
Stings their nose, stings their eyes. I've heard of it. You got to make sure you got to get in a few good distance. Otherwise, you're just going to piss the bear off.
So there you go.
But then again, there's also a brain disease that's going around in bears right now that's actually making them act like dogs.
That's strange. I have heard of the smoky bear, not the Cokie bear.
Cokie bear? Cokie bear is the polar bear on the Coca-Cola bottles.
So, Dots, when you're out tonight in the fields clapping the local sheep, watch yourself that there's no, big bears out there.
Yeah, you got to be careful with those things. They may look like big dogs, but they can fuck you up. And just remember, if you're in a situation and you must run from a bear, bears tend to eat their prey ass first. Bye!
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe anywhere you see Bald and Bonkers for even more insanity. Be sure to spread the love to the Bald and Bonkers boys' other endeavors. And a special thank you to our audience, guests, and everyone else who helps make this crazy ride happen. Amazing things are ahead. Learn more by visiting www.baldandbonkers.net. See you next time. Much love and take care.
Are we still live? For all you people in the
TikTok we still
world,
are. I think we still are. And yes, it's true. It's, why is it not shutting down anymore? For fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. From the deepest jungles to the outmost reaches of space and beyond the veils of death itself, the Bald and Bonkers boys are back for another episode. It's no secret that you won't know what will happen next, but Dakota Franson and Chris Mould promise that all bets are off. Viewer discretion and straitjackets advised. These two idiots live up to the name.
Wow.
What is up with the freaking intros, man?
My intro's working fine now. I don't know what you're talking about.
It wouldn't fucking working right for me. I don't know what's you're smoking. God.
You know, for months it didn't work for me and it worked for you, but now it's working for me and it's not working for you.
Wow.
The mysteries of the universe, ladies and gentlemen.
Side effects of you mooching off the company account. Oh, just kidding.
Well, look, I love going to Las Vegas. What can I say?
Las Vegas, huh? You couldn't get your ass up here to Idaho?
Las Vegas.
Vegas is only like an 8-hour drive from where
You've
I'm
got
at.
the Indian reservations, haven't you? You've got the kind of betting places like the Indian reservations, haven't you?
Yeah, we got plenty of them up here
bet,
too. Plus,
I've never
where do you think all the skinwalkers hang about?
Oh, what? Who's scared of a couple of skinwalkers? Come on.
Well, you act all big and tough, but you actually stepped out into the good old US of A. You'd probably be wetting yourself from some of the shit we got over here.
Going skinny, walkery person.
The most exotic animals in the UK are hedgehogs.
I'll have you know, in Scotland we have the haggis.
I know. It's very good.
Right? The haggis. It's hard to catch. Lewis has tried to catch one in the past and chases you away, you know. It's only got 3 legs and it hobbles in circles because it's got 3 legs. And it plays the bagpipes at the side, you know. You know? Well,
bagpipes. Proof the Scots are nothing but full of air.
And it'll soon be Thanksgiving in America. It'll soon be the day of the turkey. The poor little thing. Be sitting in the place getting fattened up as we speak.
Yeah, that'll definitely be a good time. Good thing we're putting out a mental health book for dealing with holidays.
Don't go on holiday with the Bald and Bonkers boys because you'll become back damaged.
Yeah, so sorry for everybody who's going to be meeting me at the conference next weekend.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Dakota is going to a UFO conference. All the aliens with the big tentacles and 10 eyeballs will be walking about and stuff like that.
We've had several talks about you discussing your fetishes online.
Look, I can't help it if I'm into like that type of aliens, you know, the big tentacles and stuff like that. You know, a bit loose in here, guys. You've not seen a while. Jenny doesn't mind it when there's big tentacles coming towards me.
All right.
I bet you're Lewis. I bet Lewis doing there. He's into that kind of thing. Take his visitations for the aliens and big tentacles chasing him in his bedroom. You know. So, ladies and gentlemen, do you want to take it away, Dakota?
No, I was just gonna say, like Chris was trying to say, Lewis keeps a man who keeps dodging us like a cousin on prom night has finally decided to show himself right on time for the 2nd anniversary. So, Lewis, how the hell have you been, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Been well.
Why did you just spike when I said that?
What spiked?
EMF.
The aliens light up EMF if aliens are going to visit Lewis tonight. Nope, you're safe.
Well, there
you go.
It just lit up, dude.
That's crazy.
I seen it light up. I've got one too. I should really have mine.
And
on
hey,
tea.
it's becoming like a gimmick with us.
But that's the thing. I mean, strange things. Last night there was some strange activity in your room. Did you ever figure out what that was? The strange
Aside
shadow.
from maybe the cats fucking around with the curtains in the living room, that's about it.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say everybody in the chat, welcome John, welcome Stephanie, and welcome all to the lurkers also, because we do have lurkers on here. Lewis has been on the show a few times, haven't you, Lewis? When was the last time you were on here? Oh, God.
God, it's been over a year, and I don't know when the last time, man. When's it? How long's it been? Quite
Sounds
a while,
about
isn't
right.
it?
2 years or something like that.
Yeah,
Something round about that.
Oh, we're just
So,
barely
ladies
hitting the
and gentlemen,
2-year marker. How could it be that long?
no, it's 2 years anniversary today. Do you ken that, Lewis? It's 2 years Bald and Bonkers has been running.
Wow, that's crazy.
I know.
Time has flown.
Yes, it has.
Very true. So, ladies and gentlemen, Lewis is a kind of expert when it comes to this subject we're about to talk about. It's a subject that I'm really interested in, and no many folk know about it. Is obviously Tartaria and the mud flood. So, Lewis, what is the mud flood? What is the flood? I have to ask you, why do they call it the mud flood?
But mainly because the mud flood is a description of, well, it's the combination of buildings that have been found that are buried within a certain layer of sediment or mud, and usually the buildings are like between 1 floor and 3 floors deep. With mud. So when you go to, or for instance, as an example, if you go to central London, even up where you are in Scotland or sort of up north, you'll find these buildings that are basically like underground. They've got like basements to them, and and from an architect's point of view, because I've got a friend who's an architect, and he only found out about this probably about 2.5 months ago when I first told him. And I showed him some photos of the buildings underground, etc., and the basement. I was like, well, why did they build them like that? You know, like, what was the purpose of building a sub level? And he's like, that's actually true. Like, he couldn't understand. He was like, he used to sort of scratching his head for a while. Why is a building that's, if you're building a structure, right? And this is for any builder who ever watches this, a structure needs to be on foundations, and them foundations are supposed to be below ground. Obviously, the main foundations, and you build above ground because you don't want the water to get into the sub levels. Now, these buildings that are underground in London and all these places you find them, they have had to reinforce the insides of them with, obviously, stop the moisture from coming outside. Anyway, cutting a long story short, the mud flood is, because that's where we was trying to get at, was the mud flood is where sediment's been deposited and they can't understand where the sediments come from, but people don't know that was the start of, that was something that happened predating today. So there's, when you say what was the mud flood, there's multiple things to it. One was either a massive flood that created the sediment to get there in the first place, or an ice age, potentially. An ice age could have created it. Because if there was ice that had melted, then it would have created a deluge, and that would have created sediment to deposit itself on these buildings. So what had happened back in like the 1800s, I think it was, they discovered these buildings that were covered in mud, and they dug them out, and then they claimed them as their own buildings, and that's where the term the Mason come from, because, well, it's actually 1700s, early 1700s. Freemasonry, because it already existed and it was free to them, so they got it free. And the buildings that they had and they found were founded. They wasn't built by people, they were founded. They were found dead, like found dead. And then, basically what they've done is they excavated out what they could get out, and then they basically made levels, used the inside where they could go into the sub-levels, and then obviously externals, they would build staircases going up to the floors because they weren't on ground level, basically. So, I don't know if that answers the question fully. Go on.
It's actually quite interesting because everybody knows when I go Scotland, I go around a lot of churches and stuff like that. And one of the churches, and a few of these churches, really old churches, I'm talking something from maybe 1400s, right? They've got like what looks like plugs at the bottom of them, as if you were going to plug something in. And this has fascinated me because I actually asked somebody about it, and somebody says, "Oh, that's just a gutter. It's a drain gutter, right?" It can't be a drain gutter because you've got the drain gutters that modern times has put up, and the socket, what looks like a socket. You came up talking about, Dakota. It's a weird looking kind of like brass socket kind of thing with like 3 holes. And it's in the most randomest place, and it's always right at the very bottom, in like a church.
Well, sorry. Go.
Yeah.
Carry on. Sorry,
I was just saying because I've noticed because they were excavating because you're talking about, and I'm going to bring this into the subject. The church down from the Huz, there was weird looking plugs, and they were excavating a bit out of the church to actually move some dirt. I don't know why they were doing that. And you could see that the building itself went down some distance into the ground. And it makes you wonder, was there something there before they built that church? Was there something there a long time ago that's been covered up?
Yeah, well, so the church was the levels, what you're seeing, the plug sockets, they are plug sockets. And they were plug sockets that were used. I don't know potentially whether it had been external lighting or something like that, because it could have been. Because the lower you go down, there would have been sub-levels, so subterranean levels, which you're talking about. Because if you're thinking about the building at the level it's at, really it's not at that level. It's probably maybe 30 foot, if not 60 foot below ground, which has not been covered up, which has not been uncovered.
I see what you're going at here, because I have seen a lot of, perfect opportunity, London. A lot of houses, when you're walking about in London, right? A lot of houses are right down have you ever seen that? Because you've done videos on it, where you've got like street houses, but the big windows are like below wells you've got to downstairs. And it would make you wonder, why would you put big windows, right? But then have the dirt at the top of the windows. You came where I'm going with this, Dakota. You've got like stairs that take you down. Yeah.
So the reason for the buildings being so tall, and them being obviously they're covered up. The main reason for the tallness of the buildings, if you think if they were truly excavated, it's because what they were doing is they were transferring wireless power from the top points of the buildings, from a main distribution point, which would be your typical like Big Ben, etc., with the antennas on top, right? They would take that energy from an antenna, they would take it from an antenna system, which would gather it from the ether, which is called Antiquitech, right? They'd use the Antiquitech, they'd gather it, then they would transform that energy. So like these churches, they were basically powerhouses, basically. That's the long and short of it, they're powerhouses. Yeah. They take that energy, transform it using actual transformers like we do now, then they'd send it back up the line. Either they'd use the low-level rails, which we've got now, like normal like electrical cables, but they can also send it up to an antenna system, which would project it out in directions in like lines. That's why they call them the ley lines, because the way they would send a directional beam of energy, and then that would be able to, like just like you would get with a TV antenna, it's attuned to a certain frequency, and you'd be able to pick up the energy from a distance, and that's how the energy was sent across. So you had them, and obviously you had lower level for like lighting and stuff. So that's basically what they've lied to us about.
To go.
No, it's definitely an interesting concept, but when it comes to the things you're talking about, what do you would have to say to some of the people that think that's obviously bullshit?
Right. Okay.
So more skeptical minded.
Right. So if you was to go to a like you see like power lines following routes across the country, you can go from one power station, well, not power station. You can go from one power ground substation, right? Follow the main lines. So you've got lines at a certain height and lower lines at a certain height. So obviously you'd have like a set of 3 cables at the top, 3 at the bottom. So like they're 3-phase, and these cables are open air cables. So what they do is they gather energy from the ether. So the higher up you take an electrical cable, like a copper cable or whatever cable you want to intend to use. Copper's obviously the most conductive. Actually, no, copper's not the most conductive, but it is the most durable and conductive. They take them, they would create a long path of cable, which could then take the energy from above, which is the Earth's electromagnetic field, and that interacts with the cable. And the cable would obviously harness the energy from above. Just like if you was to take a drone up and connect a copper cable to the drone and fly it 200 feet in the air, if you touch that cable, you'd get an electric shock, like a big electric shock as well. So basically that's what the cables are there for. They're there to gather the energy. But what they do with that is they take them to the ground station and then they transform that, just like I'm saying with these old churches. You know, a lot, even though they don't look big, they were much bigger back in the day. They'd have a higher point of energy, and they would use mercury and things like this, which would also enhance the conductivity. So you could actually, I don't know if I'm getting a good point out of what I'm saying, but
I know what you're talking about. There's a castle down for me. It's not the one in my village, but there's a castle down for me, and the thing was built, I think, in the 11th century or something like that. And I've noticed just weird things about it. It's just the way it's built. It's just, and I've noticed that there's copper runs down the inside of the wall, and people have said to me, "Oh, it's in case it gets struck by lightning. It's got no wood in it. It can't catch fire."
No.
So why would you put that on it?
The reason why they put the grounding cables is because they were designed to harness energy in the first place. If the building didn't have the capability of harnessing energy, they wouldn't need to. But secondly, if energy hits that building, and because it used to have a grounding point, and that grounding point's now been cut off because they don't want people on the ground level to get electrocuted by the building itself. If they touch the brick and there's no earth cable going to earth, you're going to get zapped just from touching the wall. You'll get a shock. Just like you would if you touch like an electric fence and it's connected to a bit of wood. If you touch that wood, you get a massive jolt through the wood. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like So basically, it's because of that principle. It's that the internals have they've got the ability to transfer the electric through, but they've just put them out of disuse. So they had to ground them.
See, I find this a fascinating subject because you've obviously got the pyramids. And the pyramids, I think, were giant power stations. I really do think they were. I don't think they're burial chambers. I think that's what they've been utilised now as. Let's put a pharaoh in there because we don't know what it is, but it will make a great tomb kind of thing. But at one time, it makes you wonder what the pyramids were actually for. I mean, was it a charging station for like a mode like transportation? All the years ago.
I think, I don't know. I just don't know with that. I know they had a gold capstone at some point.
That's right, they did. Was it no you, Dakota, that actually told me that at one time the Great Pyramid was completely covered in gold?
It's completely covered in quartz.
Right, so it was quartz. See, that's interesting, that, because it makes you wonder what was its purpose. I think it's something to do with ancient technology. There's too many. It's older than people think it is, and I think it would be interesting to see what would happen with the pyramids if you dug down at this one side, see how far it went down.
Yeah, I think that the pyramids potentially were dug out, and that's.
You think? You really think that?
Yeah.
So that's how they were built then.
I feel like they might well have been found, like discovered, but I think prior to that they were underground and dug out, and then each. Yeah, I feel like just because of the. This is based on the petrification I was talking about, but I don't know. Yeah. That's just the theory I've got. I might be completely wrong in it, but if you take
I've never been to Egypt, and I've never seen it. Dakota, have you not been to Egypt? You have been to Egypt, haven't you?
No, I haven't. I wish I have.
You've been to the Great China Wall. That's what it was. It was the Great China Wall. Which we'll go into in a minute with the Great China Wall. I mean, see the pyramids, right?
The pyramid's pretty big, though, isn't it? Thinking about that. It's huge. It's absolutely huge.
See, inside the pyramid, there's obviously like diagrams, right? And it shows you like an ancient light bulb. Have you ever seen that? The ancient light bulb diagram that's in stone and stuff. And then you've got the Baghdad batteries. Everybody's heard about the Baghdad batteries. That were for copper, and they used, is it vinegar? I think that's vinegar and copper to make like 1 amp or something like that. But it makes you wonder what was really going on with the pyramids and all these ancient buildings. Why did they must have had a hidden infrastructure at one time on this planet? Because for all we know, we could be like the 5th or the 6th civilization.
We are definitely. I think we are number 6. I actually do think that of all the times of the resets, because and we're not in the year 2023. We're in the year 1023, because the years we've been lied to about the year, because every letter before the number was supposedly towards different types of Bible, different people that were living at that time. So like J995 or JO, whatever, between them numbers, there was never a 1. If you look on the side of any of these buildings, it's not a 1, it's a J or an L, or, do you know what I mean? A letter, an I.
Yeah.
There is no 1 before then. It was just the person. I think it was something to do with the person that was being something at that time. But we're in the year 1023, not 2023, I don't think.
See, I find it fascinating. Obviously, you've got the Amazonian jungle, and a lot of things keep getting found in the Amazonian jungle. Have you seen that? I don't know if Dakota's seen this. You probably have. The new satellite images of the Amazon jungle. And it's got some type of technology, and it can actually tell where there was buildings, even under the foliage.
Yeah.
And there's cities. There's cities. There's actually cities that are totally overgrown right now.
As I say, you was talking about that. Did I ever tell you about the thing that with Elon Musk and that, when I said about I had a remote viewing dream and stuff?
No,
I think I might have told you last time. I don't want to interrupt what you were saying though.
What was that?
You're saying about the overgrown foliage and the scanning and stuff.
Right. Everybody says that, right? Everywhere in the continent there was different people, right? Obviously, they say there was no technology for people to travel, right? Obviously, the boat, you could probably do it. But you think about it, you take Egypt where there was pyramids, right? But then if you go to South America, they had pyramids. And a lot of people don't realise it, but if you go to some parts in Europe, there's actually pyramids in Europe that have been discovered in the mountains.
And they're bigger than the Giza pyramid.
Yeah. So it makes you wonder, why were they built?
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. It was all. This is what I'm saying about the Tartarian systems. The buildings, if they're transferring energy using the natural lines of the Earth, then they could send power from one point to another as long as they've got the connection between each place. They create a grid of energy connecting points, and then it becomes a circuit, and then everyone's got their energy. Do you see? then they can use their technology, the weapons and whatever, or not weapons, but probably. And someone's done something where they've used a certain type of technology and they've melted buildings and they've literally destroyed civilizations using them technologies. But what I was saying about the Tesla thing was you was talking about things that were like old and now they're under they're under the jungle. I had a astral experience, well, astral, but it was pretty much astral. But I was taken to some island, and I met Elon Musk and his brother, and Elon Musk's girlfriend at the time. This was crazy stuff. I didn't know he had a girlfriend or wife. It was a wife or partner or whatever. I think it was girlfriend. And I was on this island, and I was just like, there's trees everywhere. But then there was this Tesla tower. It was called Tesla Tower, and I said, "What's the island called?" And he said, "Tesla Island." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Being Tesla, I mean, being his thing's called Tesla. Sorry, his cars. And when I was looking at this island, I was hang on, what was I trying to get at? What I was saying? The island itself had technology on it. Then anyway, cut a long story short, I woke up and I was just like, this is crazy. I've just been somewhere. Tesla spoke to me and said, "Oh, be careful in 2024. Something about some war going on in 2024." Right? This is. I know
that. I actually, it's weird you say that because I do a lot of the kind of astro. I've not done it for a while. I've not done it for months. I know Dakota's right into the astro travel. Dakota does a lot of that kind of stuff. And it's weird you say that, Tesla, because I've had a few weird experiences where I've seen things that I can't explain. Dakota, do you know? Have you ever had Dakota in your travels and your astro traveling? Have you ever experienced anything like seeing ancient technology?
Always.
So see what I'm
that's
saying?
Just because of where I'm from.
See, that's interesting.
It gets better as well, but I'll let you continue. Sorry, I was going to say something else.
No, on you go, please.
I don't want to interrupt, man, because I don't want to be hogging the live stream.
No. You're here as a guest. Please tell us, please.
So, on this island, there was a cove, like a cove. There was part of the. I can actually get it on Google Maps because it's a real island. And I only found that out afterwards when I went and looked for it. So basically, there was. The Tesla building, it looked like a Tesla tower, like an actual Tesla tower. That's how he was getting his energy. Then I see pyramids on this island, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. Then I I was flying above the island, and I was like, right, I'm going to go back in time and see what was before, and then I'm going to fast forward, right? So I went back, and it was like rewinding a tape. Literally, all I see was the river just went, and there was like sea around it. The sea just like covered up the island, and there was nothing. Then when I fast forwarded, the sea went, and then it just like eventually just turned to sea again. So it was like went from sea to land, then back to sea, and then backwards it went from land just to sea, and there was nothing before then. So it'd been submerged underwater, and then I was just like, oh, this. When I woke up, I was like, oh my God, what on earth? I need to find this place. So I went onto Google Maps, and something just made me zoom into the middle of nowhere on Google Maps. There was nothing around it. I just literally started zooming in. I was like, got to one location, just zoomed in, and bosh, there was an island. Yeah, and on this island was the exact island I was just looking at in my dream / astral, whatever, and I found out on that island was Elon Musk had put a massive solar panel farm, right, on part of this island. And then right where the solar panel farm is, I was like, I know the island because I see it. So I was like, that there was 3 pyramids here. So I've just focused around the area where I see the pyramids, and lo and behold, under the trees and the foliage is 3 pyramids, a massive triangular, 3 points, 3 pyramids. And you can see the tips of the pyramids. I was just like, that's incredible. Like, how on earth I managed to see that, knowing that was underwater at one stage as well.
I will say Elon Musk is a strange character, Liz. I will say this. He is. There's something really weird with Elon Musk. What is it? Folk actually think he's an alien. I can't mind where he's meant to be fae. Where is he meant to be fae, Dakota, again? Alpha Centauri. See, it makes you wonder. I mean,
no, the people from there actually do look a lot like him.
Really? That's fascinating, because he's always on that, like, what do you call it, Twitter, posting stuff with new technology and stuff like that. Maybe he's here to try and help the human race back into exploring space again. But that brings me to Tertaria. Is there any? Who were that actually makes me wonder, who were the Tertarians? Who were they, and what happened to them?
Yeah, no, that leads me to what I was thinking in my head. So I think that there's 9. I'm just out of the numbers, random. I think there's 9 different types of being on this planet, right? And we're all a mixture of these 9 beings. And I think that the 9 beings from this planet are from different places. That's what I think. I think that they've all come from different star systems or whatever. Or do you know what I mean? Or we've been manipulated genetically to be like, do you know what I mean? They must have come, whether I can't answer the question as to how they got here and whatever, but I think that because if you look at people, they're all sort of, there's people that look the same genetically, they look the same, they've got the same characteristics, and there's only a certain few amount of, literally I can count probably 9 different people of personality traits. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's sort of similar. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
I know exactly what you're talking about. Dakota knows a lot about this because he is alien stuff and all that.
Go on,
Dakota, how many races would you say was on this plane existence, on Earth?
When it comes to early humans, there's at least 24 different ET races that got mixed in their DNA, on top of the early hominids that were already here when they found the place.
Wow.
So,
yeah, I said 9 because I'm just because I'm like don't have much knowledge of it all, but I'm just guessing like based on sort of the different people I've met. So you got like the Chinese, you got Filipino, Spaniard, but obviously we can say they're from different parts of the continent, so they're slightly different because of the heat and stuff. But no, like the jaw structures, the bone, the bone structures are different. Yeah. The heads, like there is more. You're saying now you're saying that there's probably more than 9 different types of skull, like looking skull in it. If you think about it, it's definitely probably more towards what you're saying. Dakota, mate, 22, whatever, how many, maybe more humanoids.
It makes you wonder that. It makes you wonder what happened, what cataclysm destroyed everything and caused all this to come to an end. It makes you wonder what caused, like for instance, obviously the Great China Wall. Dakota's been there. I mean,
I've got a theory.
Obviously, I've been watched. Obviously the Great China Wall, right? They say it's the Chinese built it and stuff like that, but I don't believe the Chinese did build it. I think someone else built it. It was to keep the Chinese out. So it makes you wonder, where did they go? Where did the Tertarians go? Was there some weird disease that killed them all off? Or did their civilization just crumble one night, one day, like yours is starting to crumble now?
I think I've had one theory, right? And that is that the moon has a massive part to play in our civilization as a whole. And that the moon obviously is not a moon. It's just because if you look at any other moon following a planet, they're just misshapen, whatever. I think our moon is an alien ET base.
Oh yeah.
And the reason its orbit is the way it is because it's tractor beamed itself almost in a magnetic flux to Earth. So it's following a specific pattern. although it does maneuver at times, it does change its angle, right? Which is weird because sometimes, like, it's not always doing it, but sometimes it does change the angle that it follows the Earth. Mm-hmm. So that must mean that there's something moving it, and it's not natural.
I definitely believe it's hollow.
If you look at the way the moon orbits the Earth, it does a little tilt kind of thing, but there's times where it actually changes its axis slightly, and it's like, how can it change its axis slightly even though it's always following the same movement? It can't 1 minute be following the same movement and then decide, I'm going to turn an extra few degrees today. You could say, it's because of the moon, the sun, or whatever, but no, this is like more than a few degrees. So anyway, what I'm saying about the moon is that it's an alien base, basically, from what I've looked at and observed with my telescope, my camera at the time. And potentially it could have changed its orbit with Earth to disrupt the civilization on Earth. So it could have directed energy weapons towards Earth to destroy parts of the Earth that they wanted to reset. Yeah. Or it could have brought itself closer into orbit and then followed a specific path which would block the sun out to a certain part of the Earth, causing an ice age on that certain part of the Earth. So then, do you know what I mean? Like, think about it.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I do think that the moon plays a big part in the world's oceans. Obviously, we get tides and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So but there's also tales out there that the moon is only a certain. Humans can only remember the moon to a certain period.
Exactly.
There's actually writings out there, ancient texts out there where the moon wasn't there at one point. It didn't exist. It's like it just came along one day and parked itself there, like the Death Star. You know, it just parked itself up. So it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder why it was put there. Do you think it was put there, Dakota? This is for you, Dakota. Do you think it was put there to watch us, or as a base of operations?
In a manner of speaking,
because when you go, listen.
To say I'm pretty certain with my spiritual mind, the way that I've always perceived things, the way that I can literally, or I used to be able to, be super intuitive with things and be able to like really harness the ability to, what do you call it, use my telepathic skills. I've always looked at the moon and just almost known that there's people up there. There is people up there, not Earth, not Earthlings.
Lewis, I've seen your pictures, Lewis, that you've taken of the moon. There is definitely somebody up on the moon. There is somebody up. They're up to something. Obviously, it makes you wonder why we never went back to the moon. If we ever went there in the first place, you could get into the argument: did we go there in the first place? I mean, they reckon that there's enough resources up there to keep the Earth going for hundreds of years. So why are we not back up there mining the fuck out it, basically? Yeah, I mean, there's a reason we are not going back there. Because I think we've been told, get off, do not come back.
It's a bit of a crazy subject, isn't it? It's crazy, man.
That is.
Go on.
I was just got to say that the moon has fascinated me. I mean, obviously it empowers people. It makes people depressed. It can make people happy. It's got a lot of weird powers about the moon. Everybody knows this. But can you imagine inside that moon, the moon might be hollow, and there could be alien races just doing their stuff right now? Like, I mean, I don't know who the aliens that are on at the new are meant to be. Who are the aliens that's on at the new? Is it mixture of the Federation, Dakota?
It is Federation now.
Yeah. So it's a mixture. So obviously there's different races up there now, because I actually watched a program about this, and it was they're actually talking. Some of the astronauts were saying that there's like bases in the dark side of the moon. But I will say this: look, there's something going on with the moon. There's too many things that's been captured by telescopes. Especially you've done it, Lewis. I've seen your pictures you've shown us. I've watched live stream at night where people are looking at the moon with their telescopes and you can see the triangular ships just sitting in the craters. Just sitting there.
I caught the best UFO on the moon once. No, not the best, but one of the best things I've seen. It was one of the top hat ones. I've shown you the photo before.
That's right. I remember that. I do remember that.
Mm-hmm.
But it still comes down to the hang right. We've got Tartaria, right? Obviously, the Empire of Tartaria. I've seen all the paper maps because I've been nosy. I've looked it up and stuff like that. And it must have been terrible. It must have been a really terrible event to destroy them, or it was done deliberately, unless they left. But then it makes you, where did they go? Are they still on the Earth? Are they in the hollow Earth? Because obviously you've got the belief of the hollow Earth and stuff like that. People say, was it a pole flip? Because obviously the North used to be the South used to be the North, kind of thing. Get what I mean? It makes you wonder. It makes you wonder what's coming to your civilization. Are we going to end up that way? Is they got to come across in like 10 million years for now to find like an iPhone or a Samsung phone petrified in a water somewhere?
That would be cool.
You know?
Yeah.
You know?
Have it like an old school Nokia and the damn thing will still turn on.
Aye. What's this strange? Look at this. Strange objects were found in this rock. It's a little bit of the air.
300 missed voicemails. That's it.
Just scrolling up at that. I will say this: they Nokia phones are indestructible. They are indestructible. I've got one there. One of the first ones because I'm old enough. I'm older than Bethy's, but I remember having one of the first mobile phones when they first came out. The thing was like a brick and it was made by Nokia. And it had a poor aerial.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember seeing them.
But honestly, think about it, because you think about the technology that has been found in coal mines, where they found these weird things that made out of metal and stuff. Just think, one day, Dakota, if the human race comes to an end by nuclear war or whatever, somebody will come across your mobile phone. They'll plug it in for the first time, and all your pictures that you put in private will come up on a big screen. And the civilization of the future, mankind will be looking at this screen. It'll be pictures of Dakota doing strange things, you know?
Did you see
strange race, these ones?
Did you see the? You was talking about moon. Did you? You've seen the map, the moon map of the Earth and the extra land that's been. I've got a good video of that.
That's weird.
Got really good.
Have you ever seen that, Dakota? Have you seen that, Dakota? How they take the image of the Earth and put it on the moon?
Oh yeah.
No,
I think I've seen that. Yeah.
Hole in the ice. No, this is like you see the moon. It shows you a picture of the moon. Then someone's mapped out all the continents of the Earth on the moon,
right.
And it only takes up half of the face of the moon, and the other half of the moon is the continents that have been hidden from us. Because the moon is like a depiction of the Earth in a map. If you look at it, you can see. I'll have to show you, man.
This is a subject that I would like to talk about. Lewis, can I ask you something? You're not a flat earther, are you?
No.
Not a flat earther, are you?
I don't know. You were just talking about the firmament.
No,
firmament. I was about to say, did we just find our flat Earth challenger?
No. Firmament is in the layer of Earth which can't be. Apparently we can't leave this layer of Earth, but I think they can leave it. But you can't prove it. They can prove it. They've sent Earth probes into space, and I've got a friend who actually designs satellites for the UK, and they're 100% real, the satellites, etc. But I mean, in like only low Earth orbit satellites. So you're talking about satellites. Some of them, they're saying that they are geocentric and they have to be at a certain point away from the Earth, so that kind of makes sense that they can get out of Earth's atmosphere. But how they get out of Earth's atmosphere, instead of just going like straight up or whatever, they have to go at an angle. Apparently, they have to.
Well, I do believe.
So maybe it is 33 degrees. They've got to leave the Earth's atmosphere at that trajectory. Maybe that's why it's called 33 degrees. Do you know what I mean? It might be right. But I've never been to space, so I can't tell you. But as in like the firmament.
It goes all the time.
The firmament is in like what I mean when I say firmament. If you send anything you send above the firmament needs to be powered by, let's say this, needs to be powered by one an atomic an atomic system, an atomic fusion system, some kind of reactor needs to be powering a satellite that's above Earth's lower orbit, because once you get out of that specific zone, you lose power because you've got no torus field. You need a torus field in order for electricity to run from point A to point B. Without two magnetic poles, a north and a south, you can't have an electrical system working. So once you get out of Earth's low Earth orbit into the outer orbit, you lose that connection. So that's why when they send things into deep space and that, which is what I'm saying, that they must have got them out there, they put reactors on them. And that's why people say, the moon mission was fake, because the moon's in Earth's orbit. Does that make sense? Because for you to be able to power the craft, you need a reactor to keep the electricity working. When you create a reaction with nuclear reactor, it creates a torus field of energy, like a north and a south pole, just like the Earth's natural north and south pole. But then people say the Earth can't be solid in its core and molten, because with a molten core, you can't have magnetism.
See, I see where you're going with this. That is interesting, because I researched the flat Earth, but the hollow Earth. So what happens if it's no like a core in molten metal, which they say it is? What happens if it's another sun inside the Earth?
Yeah, that's the only way it could be. Yeah, if there was a sun on the internal side of the Earth and a sun and a sun on the outside, because then you've got your north and your south. You've got your two different polarities. Both. You've got your inner and the outer. Yeah. It'll create two poles. That's the only way it can work. Yeah. Obviously, people are saying that the moon as well works kind of with it, but I think it's the sun, and there's an internal sun. And then space within that is somehow, I don't know, however.
And the Earth. Yeah. You've got the Earth. So that makes you wonder, maybe that's where the Tertarians went. Maybe there was a cataclysm coming, but obviously maybe the dinosaurs or something like that. Maybe there was, that's where they went. They went to the inner Earth. I find the inner Earth thing very fascinating. And there's actually a few top UFO people out there, alien people, believe obviously in the inner Earth. Look, was it Admiral Baird that went? Where he went to the South Pole, didn't he? And he got beaten back because they say that the Nazis had set up base in the technology, and these all came for the inner Earth. So it makes you wonder: was that the Tertarians? Was that the original Tertarians that moved there?
I kind of like, I'm on a sort of a different, I'm not on a different thought path. There could be another point to look into. So, is that they developed an advancement in technology so advanced that they were able to transition between this dimensional state to another, potentially.
Yeah.
That's something else I thought, because only the reason why I say that is because of that picture you sent me of that old building, and inside the building was a giant looking out the window. There was a giant person in there, it was a spirit giant looking out the blue window, and I was just like, bloody hell, maybe that is a different dimensional state that we're seeing.
That's obviously you've got different dimensional beings and stuff like that, because for all you know, Dakota could have like dimensional aliens standing right next to him now, the same as you, or we might share like, for instance, it's maybe like, so you ever seen that film Tomorrow World, where it's a different everything exists in a different dimension.
Mm.
Can you? It's fascinating because obviously we know that some of the extraterrestrials out there share different dimensional. Like some of the UFOs are from different dimensions. Some of the UFOs don't have any form of propulsion, but they can still travel through the air.
Mm.
So maybe they're using like the power for the earth to propel their ships.
Mm.
And then obviously you have to go, like, if you to go back to like Roswell, where Dakota says the kids were out joyriding, is what I would say. Because what is that right, Dakota? Was it the kids in the alien ship were out joyriding?
They were equivalent of teenagers for that race.
Yeah. And because we were using nuclear weapons, practicing playing about with them, when they bombs were detonated, good God knows what invisible things that was doing to the different dimensions. Because obviously, people, even radar can affect different dimensions. So, how many different dimensions is there? There could be an infinite different dimensions out there. There could be infinite Earths out there. There could be infinite Lewises. There might be a bald Lewis. There might be a Lewis with a red jumper on. There might be me with long wavy hair. I can only dream. But that's the mind-boggling thing, isn't it? So just think there's a Dakota out there with long blonde hair sitting right now, you know, and he's a billionaire and he's in a mansion and that. The different dimensions.
I'm just going to pause. Not pause. I'm going to just listen to. I'm just going to go back because something important came up and I've forgotten.
Yeah.
I was going to say. You carry on talking. I'm just going to listen to in a minute ago. That's what it is. Go on, carry on.
So Dakota, what's on your thoughts? What's happening this week, Dakota? Well, Lewis looks up his strangeness.
Well, I'm going on break so I can go to Orlando.
So you'll be away on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You'll be back on Monday.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting.
Pretty much jumping. I'm literally going to be going to work, maybe sleep for a couple hours, drive 2 hours to the airport to get on a flight like 4.5 hours across the country.
Wow. Would you not like to have drove? You could have drove across the country in your reliable 1990s vehicle.
No, I like flying.
Fly me to the moon, be among the stars. There you go. You'll be all ready for that. Look, I think you deserve a holiday, man, and you deserve to have a good time. And may the aliens abduct you at night, take you away and do terrible things.
Oh, we do have a little bit of an announcement to make.
What's this?
Remember I said yesterday we got a little something coming together?
We'll click on
well,
that.
Well, we have an Indiegogo campaign to raise funds for the brand new Bald and Bonkers Network streaming service.
Oh, that's right.
That's
interesting. Is it not letting me click on that link?
It would help if I post the right one in the chat.
Is that why it's not letting me click on it?
Here we go. Should be coming up again.
My internet's going weird today. I don't know what's going on. Indiegogo, here it's here. Let's have a look here.
Sometimes it's just shit connection, Chris.
Couldn't think what I was saying. You were talking about dimensional states, and I couldn't get this thing I was going to say about dimensions.
Dimensions, Lewis. Somewhere out there. And do not adjust your TV. Lewis is in the Twilight Zone.
A dimensional state of being. Lewis.
But that's maybe that's what happened to the Tartarians. Maybe they became that advanced. They ascended. They became light beings. You know what I mean? It's quite interesting because there is a lot of articles out there where technology has been found that nobody knows what it is and where it came from. So obviously it's either humans that have went back in time, got stuck there and died, and then their technology's rot it away when some of it's petrified, or there's been civilizations before this. Because let's face it, how long has...
Go.
When you go, Liz?
No.
I'm just saying... I was just going to say, how long has technology advanced humans been here? It's only in the last, 200 years for steam engines to computers and other things, right? If we had a nuclear war tomorrow, which I hope doesn't happen, or an asteroid hits and wipes us all out, and maybe some humans survive, right? Give it a couple of thousand years. Let's take London, for instance. After 20,000 years, what would London look like with no humans in it? It would just be like a grassy field.
It would look clean.
It would look clean, exactly.
Dirty Londoners.
Dirty Londoners. What I was going to say... What I was going to say... wasn't what I was going to say, but it's come to my mind anyway. This is one to make you twiggle your brain cells. So, in this world, we've got people that are conscious, and then we've got people that are unconscious. And I'd say conscious and unconscious. You've got the players, and you've got the NPCs, as people refer to as, yeah. So, what if, when you go to sleep at night, you become an NPC in your dream states, and you're making pieces of other people's puzzles for their reality when you're sleeping. So when I'm sleeping, I'm going into a subconscious level where I'm not aware of what I'm doing, but I'm doing stuff. And in that reality, it's someone's actual real reality where they're a conscious person and you're just a person playing a sleeper. And then that's the reason why you have people in this reality that are just like in their own sort of, they're just not awake. Doesn't, like, the lights are on but no one's home. You can't wake them up. You can't, do you know what I mean? There's just no way of... The reason why I say that is because I had a dream, and in this dream I was... What are you doing? Is this mean I'm going crazy or something?
No, it's just we do this now and again. It's for the subscribers to like it. Actually, I see where we are going with this. When you go to sleep, you're playing the part of someone else.
No, when you go to basically when you go to sleep, you're in your subconscious level, right? So you're in a different reality. You're in someone else's reality. When you sleep, you go into someone else's real reality. So, like my reality now with you, and that we're awake, right? But then there's people that are half that are sleeping. That they're just, you see them walking the streets. You can interact with them, but you'll never spend time with them in life. Obviously, everyone's got their own unique. But it's like almost programmed that way that you'll never interact with certain people. But you could turn around and pick someone out the audience in an open place and start speaking to them. But they could be in a sub reality. So like they're in your reality, but in their reality they're dreaming. So when they wake up from this reality, they go back into their reality, and then their reality.
You're going with us. Right.
So
I see you're going with us. Yeah.
Matrix theory comes into the whole sort of understanding of it. It's like
so when I'm asleep and I go into the dream world, which is really a different reality for, let's say, somebody called Jim Bob or something like that, I get into his reality and that. But when I get up and he goes to sleep, he goes into my reality.
Yeah, basically.
But that's the thing. How do we not know that this isn't just a matrix that we're in right now?
Yeah, that's what I meant. As in, like the Matrix, it's like the Matrix.
I think honestly, I honestly think we're in the Matrix. By the way, I do think this is all one big simulation.
Yeah, it is. That's what I believe.
Oh dear God! Watch out for the nude modders.
Only reason why. Go on.
Where you go? No, I was just going to say, if it was, think about it, right? What was that test that was done by firing a laser
That's what I was going to say.
At a point. They were firing a laser at a point, and when the person looked at it, the laser went through the hole and it jumped into two, like that. But when the humans didn't watch it, it went through the hole and hit straight on. It didn't split apart. So that tells us.
Light particles are well known to do that.
But you see, this might all be an artificial reality. I we could touch stuff and all that. You know what I mean? We could touch stuff and
you can manipulate stuff by using your intention, man. And I've done it plenty of times in the past.
But maybe psychics and folk that can do things with their mind are maybe just that wee bit aware, like Neo out of like the Matrix or something like that. Maybe just a wee bit aware they can change things. Dakota's got to be sitting thinking tonight.
No, you have to believe. No, it's true because you have to believe for it to happen. Basically, no, it's true. It's true. You have. The film that you watch, when he literally manipulates things with his intention because he believes through and through that he's able to do that. That is exactly how you manipulate this reality that we're living in right now, and you can do it with total intention because I've done it in the past. A lot of times I've manipulated things in front of me. I could literally manipulate a person to turn around just with intention, like you, because if you stare at someone, they feel like your energy, they turn around. But it's not just because you're intentionally staring at them. It's because you are physically manipulating them on an energetic level because you're consciously creating that outcome with your intention to look at. Do you see what I'm saying?
See, I know exactly what you're saying, and it's like the theory that's actually out there that people have discussed that there's actually only 500 million people on the Earth, and the rest, everybody's basically a bot. You ever heard that one? Like for instance, like say let's take London. Dirty London again, Dakota. I don't know what you've got against London, but you better watch my brother do this near you. But anyway, say there's only a certain amount of people that are actually real in that simulation for London, and the rest of everybody are bots. So whoever you come into contact with and have a relationship with, get married to, have kids with and stuff, they're real. But the people you never talk to, the people you don't know, are fake.
Bring me on to speak about this quickly. That's good points made, man. Very good points made. Yeah. The time dilation, and the speeding up of time that I wanted to speak to you about.
Right. See, that is weird. That is weird, and I'm going to say that you actually talked about this the other night to me in a message, right? You were going on about how time was going quicker. Yeah, and I was sitting the other night, and I looked, and it has. I was sitting the other night. Last week, time was going really slow, and I mean really slow. Another night, I looked at the clock, and it said 10 o'clock at night. I thought, right. And I started watching the telly. I looked through it again, and it was 5 to 11. And I thought, I've not sat here for that amount of time. It was weird. It was like a time slip. It was like...
So
I think when you go...
Then no, the time has sped up due to something. I don't know. Whatever.
But the Hadron Collider?
Possibly. Something to do with that. Or something to do with... I don't know. Whatever would create time to speed up. We've lost, and I've worked it out based on that clock that there's basically we've lost 9 hours of time every single day. Our days are 9 hours 9 hours slower. No, slower, faster. We've lost 9 hours basically. Every day our day has become 9 hours shorter. So, and that's based on an old timer which was built for snooker tables. So a snooker table clock has a quartz crystal inside of it, and it's also got a mechanical ticking light that flashes. Right? This is what Dakota's thinking. What? So have you shown Dakota the video?
No, I've not seen that video yet. No.
So the light flashes for every second of the clock, right? But when you look at these clocks now, the light flashes for every second, but the light is flashing slower than every second that ticks on the clock. But the clock's based on a crystal clock. So basically, the light is set via a resistor.
Yeah.
Transistor. I'll have to show you the video. If I show you the video,
How-
can I show you the video? I'll play the video.
Sure.
And I'll just show you. So here it is. How do I screen share this? Do I just click on add screen? Share?
Share.
It should be, yeah.
Oh, here we go. Window. Right, okay. Share, can you see that, yeah?
Hold on. There we are.
Right. So for every, I'm going to try and mute it because I don't want it to play the voice. Right, so for every second that ticks, hang on. For every second that ticks on this flashing, this dot here, see that?
Mm-hmm.
Should be 1 second on this. Mm-hmm. Now watch. Oh no, so it's down there. The dot ticks there, sorry. 1, 2, 3. Right, obviously that one's not ticking because it's got an hour and 29 minutes, but it's the same time. Now watch this tick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What you're witnessing there is the old way that a normal clock, any clock, would have ticked before the time sped up. This timer actually is ticking based on the quartz crystal inside. So that means that the ticking of the quartz crystal is sped up. So if you work it out from 10 seconds, 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds, 8 seconds. So basically, how many seconds went past in that? Let me go back.
Is the video playing for you, Dakota? I don't think it's playing for me. It's not playing for us.
Can you see that?
We can see it. It's come up, but it's not playing.
Can you see it now? Nothing happening. Right, 1 second. You can't see nothing, no?
No, it's just like flickering for us. That was just them for me. That is weird.
Nothing's playing.
Oh, they don't want us to see that.
Right, hang on. Let me. Can I jump? I'll jump in on my phone onto the same live stream. Then I'll stream share it. I'll share it through my camera. Let me just get this thing up. There we go. I'm coming in.
It made you wonder what would cause time to go faster, though.
Right, so basically, so I worked out for every 10 seconds. I'm just coming in. Where is it? For every 10 seconds that ticks, it's not letting me come in. Copy link. Oh.
You probably need to
open this page in Chrome. Oh, it's Chrome. I need to open it in Chrome. I don't have my Chrome browser. Hang on. Chrome. Oh, there it is. Right, okay. Right, so basically what I worked out is for every 10 seconds that ticks on the normal clock, only 6 seconds roughly goes by in old time. Does that make sense? Like original ticking would have been 6 seconds to our 10 seconds. When you work that out into how many seconds have been lost in an hour and how many seconds have been lost in 24 hours, it totals out to be 6 hours in a day, which would have been, so basically our days would have been 6 hours longer into that many hours kind of thing. So it would have been a longer of a day. It would have felt like a much longer day. An hour would have taken a lot longer than it would now. So yeah, it would have actually been, I think it's about 30, hang on a minute, 24 hours. So yeah, I'm going to work it out anyway. Let me just do this quickly.
How different that was there. Just give me a fright there, Dakota. That's terrible.
Here we go.
Gone senile, have you?
Here we go.
Hey, who are you? Where am I? Is this the old folks' home? We're having soup tonight.
Right, remember these are allowed us. Here we go. Use while the app. Here we go. It's coming up.
You better visit me, Dakota, when I'm 110 in the old folks' home.
Let's flip the camera.
I don't think I will.
Oh, no, not front facing. No.
Visit me, Dakota. That's terrible. Poor old man sitting there in his.
Here we go. Come on. Camera. Facing back. Aha, here we go. So, join. Oh, what's the name?
Mysteries of the Universe. I think it's something to do with the Hadron Collider.
Right, here you go.
There we are.
Oh, let me mute. Can you hear me, yeah?
Yep.
Echo!
Right. So this is... Oh, why am I on myself? There we go.
You went to mute your phone.
There we go.
I just muted you on your phone, dude.
I'm
muted you on my end, so...
Okay. So these are the clocks. So you see the ticking.
We'll blow him up.
Oh.
Interesting feedback.
What's all that noise about, man?
Just mute your mic. And that should be it now.
All right, I think we got him.
What's up?
I need to speak to you, that's the thing.
Pick a mic, you twat.
Right, okay. Oh, is it all slow freezing up and that? Right. Did you see that?
I did see that. That's interesting. That is.
Right, let me get off this. It's frustrating. Right. Can you hear me now?
Doing two people there, but I can hear you there.
Basically,
that's weird. That
although it was going out of time on the thing there, it ticks every 10 seconds. Normal ticking, like 1, 2, and the actual dot is flicking faster. I mean, slower than the seconds of a normal clock. So that because the ticking of the LED light is set to a specific it's set to a specific voltage, which was timed using electronics instead of using a quartz crystal. That time would be very, very slightly out over a time period. You know, if you use a quartz crystal for a watch, or if you use an electrical diode, whatever they would use to do the same process over the space of like a day, you might lose 1 second. Yeah, let's just say that as an example. But with that, what you're seeing there, you're seeing a huge difference, and both the clocks were exactly the same. They were both ticking at exactly the same time. So it wasn't a fact that there was a problem with one side and the other side was like, you're jamming up on me. Right, but anyway, all I'm saying is the clock that was ticking, the actual light that flicks was the old time of a clock. What it should have been ticking at today.
Yeah.
Time is sped up, so now we're seeing a much faster ticking of the actual numbers, which is the numbers move based on a quartz crystal, and the ticking moves based on an electrical program. Make sense?
See, I understand, but what would cause that?
The quartz crystal has a frequency, which means that the frequency of the quartz crystal has changed.
It is changing.
So that means that time has actually sped up for the quartz crystal frequency to have changed.
So what's causing it? That's the question.
I don't know. Can't answer that question, mate. All I know is when I watched that ticking on that clock, and then I remember back to being in primary school and watching the clock tick on the wall and remembering how long it used to take for each second to go past, and then realising the same ticking was identical to what I was watching on that device with that light flashing. I remember the ticking of the clock used to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, and now it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you know what I mean? There's a huge difference between the time now, and that's just like, wow, it's incredible. Obviously, something's caused it. What has caused it?
Obviously, somebody's been dabbling in something they shouldn't have. Or
it could have been, could be caused by something coming into Earth, towards Earth, perhaps creating the dilation time, or would it change the time dilation? I don't know. Maybe I'm not sure.
If you talk about it like a planetary body that was invisible to Earth, but it was massively like a dwarf or something like that, something that had a magnetic pull, no just on like gravity, but it had like a pull on time itself, like a black hole.
Potentially, yeah. It's crazy though, isn't it? Seeing that, I just remember days being so much longer, and now they're not. You know,
I will say that I agree with you there.
Just so
days are a lot shorter.
So quick. Yeah, they are.
What's your thoughts, Dakota?
It's alleged with the density shift that's supposed to happen here in the near future, time speeding up is a well-known side effect of what's coming on a grand scale.
So what's coming on a grand scale?
That? What's coming?
Lack of a better word, ascension.
Yeah.
Nibiru is just outside of Jupiter.
See, that's interesting you say that about Nibiru, because there's been a lot of people. See how it was the solar flare yesterday?
Eclipse, but yes.
The eclipse, sorry, the eclipse. There's a lot of people. There was one guy videoing it, and it was there was something near the sun, and he tried to figure it out, but it was like 5 times the size of the Earth. It was huge.
No way.
Whatever it was.
Oh, that's
a lot of those videos are also just the reflection of how the light from the sun appears during the eclipse.
Yeah. I will say this: there has been a lot of weird videos coming out lately where somebody will pan over there, for instance, and they'll see the sun setting, but then behind them the sun will be setting. But is that not called like a sundog or something like that? It's got a name. See, it's the Twilight Zone.
Another thing. This is a good point for the people that love the moon landing and believe the moon landing was real, based on the videos we've seen. But I just think that's absolute rubbish. But not saying they didn't get to the moon. I'm just saying that them videos they've played and shown definitely staged. And the reason why I say this is that if you think of the size of the moon and the size of the Earth, right? Now, when they made the film of them being on the moon, etc., and these pictures of Earth looking back from the moon, well, they didn't use mathematics in their strategy, because if you look at the Earth, it's the same size as the moon. Now, we know that the moon is 4 times smaller than the Earth. So from the moon, the Earth should look 4 times bigger than what it does look like.
That's right, yeah.
So then that just proves
that's a good point.
It would be 4 times bigger. It would look huge compared to what it is. And it's not. So basically they run the film and they were like, shit, we can't go back on what we've done now. We've got to stick with the Earth being that size. And that's the reason why they can't show the Earth from the moon now. Because it would blow out their fakery, basically. They'll be
that's interesting to see that.
They'd be like, oh shit.
I never thought about it that way.
We can't do this now, because then people would know the moon landing were fake.
Dakota?
Not saying the moon in total. I mean in general. I don't mean as in they've got there or they haven't got there. I'm just saying what they put forward was fake. And they can't turn around and unfake it now because it's written in their history books. So the moon
that's
should be
actually
4 times.
I never thought about it that way. I will say this, that NASA started before with the ISS above the Earth live camera feed. You would have the planet below in blackness. Now they've added stars, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Which is odd.
This is what the moon should look like. Well, probably a little bit smaller than this, but I've made a mock image of the moon. And I'm going to show you. Hang on. Moon. There we go. The moon up. So this is what the moon should look like from. I mean, the Earth should look like from the moon, roughly. If I can share my screen, I'll share it on this one now, because I can actually show it to you. Window, entire screen. There we go. So, can you see that?
Bring it up.
Right, and that's kind of like if you're looking from the moon, from the moon. But I made a better one. Hang on, let me get the other one up. This one. If you was on the Earth's surface, the moon's surface, looking back at the Earth. No? Can you see that?
Yeah, we can see it.
I know that's too big. I know it's too big, but it's like we're shown this. Can you see that? Oh, hang on. Let me share. We're shown this.
There we go.
Oh, actually, no. Was we shown that? Yeah. I don't know.
About.
Yeah. Still, it's too small. It should be 4 times the size, right, roughly. The one I showed was way too big, but yeah, you can kind of get the gist of it anyway. So it wouldn't look like it was. Anyway, carry on. I'll shut up.
Speaking of shutting up, Chris, we can't hear you. No. No sound. Well, he's muted and unmuted himself. It's showing that he's talking, but no sound's coming out.
You don't hear me?
Now we could.
You hear me now? Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, we came with that. That's the Men in Black. They're coming for you tonight, Lewis. You're going to be sitting there, your cigar and your glassy shangria, and you'll be sitting there looking at the stars, and they'll come down and pick you up and just take you away. Have you lost me again? You can't hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I was going to say, because I'm listening to myself on YouTube.
Oh, God. That was funny, man.
Oh, my God.
No,
So, Dakota, you look...
You get made fun of on the show so much.
Look at it this way, ladies and gentlemen. Next Saturday night, I'll be jiving away at the disco. All the old girls and their zimmers, all the alien hunters, you know. I'll be the youngest guy there, but the oldest looking.
No, there's a couple that are younger than me going, apparently.
You know? Oh,
you know what someone actually told me the other day?
I
have hot 40-year-old guy vibes. It's like, I'm conflicted because I'm 27.
Can I ask you something? The one that taking meth at the time, weren't they? Just out of curiosity.
I have to wonder about some of the people around here. It's probably fentanyl.
Yeah, one too many jump too far.
You don't smoke weed, do you, Dakota?
No.
Oh my God!
Those are bad enough.
Jesus.
The weed out in the US, the medical marijuana, it's sprayed with a chemical called it's a synthetic form of THC, and it's called I think it's A1122 or something like that, or U1122. I can't remember what it's called. And basically, it's like red oil is another term for it. Red oil. And what it is, it's like it was used on the military, and what it did to the patients who took it, the military personnel, it'd leave them paralyzed for like days. Instead of like getting high and being stoned for a couple hours, it would leave them stoned for like 3 or 4 days, like properly out of it. Some of them were like, it would lead to like heart failure, proper paralyzation and that. And they put this stuff in the medical marijuana, and that's why you see these people that are like properly out of it on little joints and that. And they're like, next level, like stoners on the streets.
When Dakota comes back after, no this weekend coming, but the next day he'll be back. You'll ever seen the film Pineapple Express? He'll come back dressed like the guy out of that. With the dreadlocks and all that.
Where the fuck am I getting dreadlocks?
You can get them. What do you call it? You can get a coconut and sit it on top of your teeth or something. You know. He'll come back as a hippie. Yeah, man, the alien event was weird, man. We were doing the birdie dance song. We were all out dancing in the dance floor, you know.
Oh, it's been great seeing you guys. It's been a while.
It has been good to you coming, Lewis, and you'll need to come back again. I know it's late for you. What is it, 12:30 for you now?
Yeah, 12:30. Yeah. And I'm really hot. It's so hot. It's about 25 degrees Celsius, which isn't that hot, but it's still hot.
I was about to say,
you don't get air conditioning in your house?
It's probably like 25 degrees Celsius is about, what's that in Fahrenheit?
It's about the same time where I'm at. It's about 77.
Oh, really? No way.
Yeah,
it's not that here. I'll tell you what it is here.
-8.
No, it's only -1.
No way.
It's warmed up.
No.
It's warmed up.
It's going to be a hell of a lot colder when I leave work tomorrow morning.
Can you imagine what Florida's got to be like?
Where do you work, Dakota?
The heat will just hit you.
I was just working in a grocery store.
Oh, fair enough. So that's even colder then, because you banned by the fruit and veg, or do you do the fruit and veg, or?
I do resets. I'm basically the guy that moves everything around.
Oh, annoys everyone.
One of the annoying assholes. One of the annoying fucking assholes.
Why is the shop changed again? Oh, for God's sake, I can't find the stupid grapes. So looking around.
Yeah.
They do that in my local supermarket. And turn left.
They do that to confuse the customers, so they stay longer. And the longer they're they're actually in the store, the more likely they're actually to spend. That's why that happens.
I used to work in a supermarket in Sainsbury's.
Yeah, It's a day job. It's a paycheck. Kept me afloat while the world's gone crazy.
It's good. It's good because you get to meet crazy people in there as well. And you get lunatics, and you get.
I work when the store's closed, so.
Oh, that's all right then.
Aye, I bet he nips to the ice cream section. You know, pinches a nice lolly out the boxes and stuff like that. You know,
he works out where he works out where he's going to put an item that everyone wants but no one can find. Puts a little hidden camera up there and watches people get angry all day long. So I sit at home.
It's been tempted some days.
Again, there's been days I've went into like an electrical store and I've went to the kettle section, but right behind the kettle at the far back there's like a microwave and it's all sold out in the shop and there's one microwave stored right at the back. I think that's like people that work there and they do that so you don't expect. Because they want that. There's been a few times I've went, oh, I'm having that. It's for £20.
I remember once.
You should have seen it when it was during the pandemic. We were all helping each other stash groceries all over the store just so we could actually get our hands on some.
Oh shit!
Toilet paper. That was one of the big. I mean,
that is a sign of true hypnosis, and that was the part of it where you realised it was hypnosis.
Everybody's stashing up on toilet paper, yet they weren't saying that shitting yourself was a side effect.
Watch Darren Brown, the stage hypnotist and the person who can mind manipulate and create hypnotic trance to people. And when you watch that program and then you see people buying toilet roll for no reason, then you realise it is hypnosis.
Easier to do than people realize.
Yeah,
I went during the pandemic. I went into the pandemic, as I was call it. During that, I went into the local supermarket, and I kid you not, I was just getting normal food. And then I seen everybody running about grabbing all the toilet rolls. I mean, what is the point in that? Why did they just buy all the toilet rolls? And then like in the very
so they can resell it at a higher price.
15 packets of toilet rolls and one, would you call it, Cadbury's cream egg sitting in the very top.
It was done. I think it was done through the. It must have been done through either BBC News or one of these BBC programs, BBC News or some kind of like Sky News, whatever. And they must have put subtle subconscious hints at toilet roll, and then tied them to that process. And then people, as immediately as they thought that whatever was going on, they went straight and got toilet roll.
I know somebody that's like, oh, you better buy your toilet roll. It's the apocalypse. And I says, well, a toilet roll is not going to help me in apocalypse. I don't know what you're doing. Oh, I've planned ahead in it. Can I get that Wish.com? They ordered 100 toilet rolls for Wish, right? But they didn't read the packaging correctly. And you should have seen it. All they got was 1/2 toilet roll. and it was a big box, and the guy's like, he says, "I see, I've got all the," and he's like, he sent me a video. He says, "What do you think of this?" It's all that, and he opened it up, and it's just full of wee polystyrene parts and 1/2 toilet roll. It spent $40 or $50 on 1/2 toilet roll. I mean, seriously.
I'm gonna have to get my friend, my friend who's a stage hypnotist. What's his name? I forgot his name. He's very, very powerful, very intelligent, and I've got him on my YouTube channel. I've done a video of him. I've done a really bad YouTube video live stream of him. It didn't really come out very well, but
looking into my eyes, round my eyes.
He's amazing, mate, and he explains all the dark tricks to hypnosis and like the keys and how they use music and they use sound. Obviously, sounds music, and in your typical TV shows, like your typical you watch Police Interceptors and that. If you listen to the noises in the background that are being played whilst the part where people are being arrested, you hear all these high frequencies. You hear specific angry music that just sort of trigger you. The next time you see police, it automatically brings fear in. I'm not saying you're going to be fearful, but it's subconsciously triggering you. So you're more.
We need to get him on here.
I'll get him on here.
We need to get him on here, and we'll get Dakota hypnotised. Every time I say a certain word, he thinks he's a chicken.
As long as you ain't saying I'm finger licking good, you gator clapper.
His name is.
Here's the perfect person. Here's the perfect person. Dakota. Lewis. Lewis, if somebody said to you,
dear
Lewis,
Lord.
I just want Lewis's opinion. Lewis, if somebody says to you,
Michael Grady is his name. You can't see him because I haven't got my filter on. That's him.
I can't tell if that's a man or a woman. Oh wait, I shouldn't say that in the 2020s.
That's all right.
Michael Grady.
He does a lot about man. Go on, Cameron, what are you saying?
Right, Lewis, if somebody had to say to you, go and clap the dog, what would you think?
Go and shag the dog.
No, go and clap
the dog. Thank you! Thank you!
That's what you said.
Why is it just a school?
I didn't hear what you said. I think you did go and shag the dog.
If somebody says to you, go and clap. If somebody clap the dog, what would you say?
The dog got whacked and clap around the ear on.
Thank you. He says it's a sexual intonation. He says clapping dogs are cheap. It's a sexual intonation. I think it is.
I showed you the dictionary, and it said nowhere in there about petting animals.
Yeah, clapping can be as in like shag as well. I think.
Thank you.
The dots in the chat there. Who cares about all that kind of stuff?
I got her up the clapper. I was just saying.
You're going like the clapper.
Or you're going like the clappers, shagging like the clappers. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Grease the cat's ass.
You've got to remember, Dakota's only in his 20s here. Dakota's got to be damaged here.
Grease the cat's ass.
It's like real. What?
What was that you said there?
When times are tough, grease the cat's ass. Meow.
Meow.
Oh God.
I see you, pretty cat. I see you, pretty cat. But, oh my God. So remember, I would like to say this.
Bald and Bonkers does not give out straight jackets. No. Or sponsor therapy, even though we might have to start.
I would just like to say to everybody, thank you for coming tonight. And Lewis, thank you for coming on. He's now going to go and, what is that, crease the cat's ass or something like
that? Crease the cat's ass.
Oh.
Sorry.
There you go, Dakota. That's a new word for you. What does it mean? What does that mean? Crease the cat's ass.
Grease the cat's ass. Grease on the cat's ass. You don't want to go and dry. Sorry, guys.
And Dakota, if you can't get grease, I'm sure you'll be able to use some WD-40.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe anywhere you see Bald and Bonkers for even more insanity. Be sure to spread the love to the Bald and Bonkers boys' other endeavors. And a special thank you to our audience, guests, and everyone else who helps make this crazy ride happen. Amazing things are ahead. Learn more by visiting www.baldandbonkers.net. See you next time. Much love and take care.
That was funny. Sorry, man.
You're all right.
That's funny as it.
It's an old saying. Grease the cat's ass. Like, it's something that I've heard.
You're still live.
We're still fucking live. Why isn't it shutting itself off? It's supposed to shut itself off.